Yeah, Elleni has been just riding so good the entire season. That U19 champion. A little bit of a mistake. You can see how just dry and loose it is.
And it's people, riders, talking about this track, feeling like sand in sections, and you can see it for yourselves. It really has been a perfectly dry week here.
Yeah, because of the track, the kind of the structure of the track, it gets really steep right here. You know, you'll see Elleni go over the road, and then it kind of drops in. So you have this really steep bit, and then it kind of flattens out, and then it just gets amazingly steep again.
It really, really does. The under-19 national champion.
Yeah, I mean,
Elleni Turkovic finding a way down through. You can see the big holes, the big compressions, big pull off there. There's a beeline around that big Stevie Smith drop. She's going for the drop with some pedals and a big pull. Oh, that was brave.
Already 2.2.
A triple as well.
That triple is actually huge. You have to get so much speed out of that right-hander. Kind of push down over the Stevie Smith drop, that 11.99 drop.
Well, Turkovic then, full commitment here on the 11.99, like the man this track is about. There was no lack of commitment from Stevie Smith.
And this is where it just drops in.
Here we go, yeah. This, if there was ever an ode to Canadian freeride, this entire bottom section it's so steep. That rock slab there is very near vertical.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what Elleni takes this line. She might... Going to go outside, so you can go outside of that, come down inside. They took a little route out here. Oh, really nice. Just kind of like shaving off a little bit of distance into that outside that allows you to carry some speed.
I'm looking at this track now, Elliot, and I walked it yesterday, and I'm thinking the dust looks way thicker again today.
But you have to ride it like she's riding it. You can see she's almost
up at split 2.
Right, almost 5 seconds now, and because she's carrying her speed.
Yep, making real light work of it then, Turkovic. This is this really steep section now before they come out into the open. Still carrying good speed there. Actually, the run into this Red Bull drop, a lot more difficult, I would say, than last year. We saw some of the women struggling to get enough speed for it last time. But no problem for Elleni there.
I feel like Elleni's making light work of pretty much everything.
Yeah. Pedaling up and over this tabletop, and the track does actually climb very, very slightly here. I mean, people talking about how physical it is, then there's this bit here, but 9.949 at the last split on track into the green. This is a strong run.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Elleni got selected for the World's team. She has a little GoFundMe there. If anyone wants to support her get into World Championships, I think she's definitely on pace. You know, is one of those young talents from the Southern Hemisphere that is just amazing.
Into that last right-hander, that catch berm there, going to be put through its paces this afternoon. This last wood section, difficult left-hander coming up.
Went to the left of that yellow pad. I like that line, setting up high and then dropping in.
And now out she comes into the open. A few more pedals across this, just off this shark fin. And then it's going to be down to the line outside the fastest qualifier of Emmy Lan. That's 4.25, but she does go fastest. 4.32 then now, the time to beat in this final.
What an awesome run.
Yeah, what an awesome run, that's right. Shaking of the hands there. So,
this is Erice.
Yes, Erice van Leuven now on track.
She's been having an amazing World Cup year, you know, taking that win at Leogang. And she's just super strong and stable on the bike. You can see just kind of how she lets it move underneath her. This rock section, no problem.
Yeah. Oh, and look at it through there, the reigning world champion. Going to be looking forward to defending that title in a few weeks' time in Andorra.
Already making up 2.3.
11.9 up now.
On one split.
Yes. Massive then. So look at this from Van Leuven. The young New Zealander showing us what she's got on this steep stuff now.
And you can really see, like I said, using her hips, letting the bike go where it wants to, because you're never going to have just a straight and stable line on a track like this. It's just too loose.
And there's that run up to this Red Bull drop that's fully holed out this year, no problem. And moving across there as well. Taking 3 wins last year in the World Cup Series. Taking a win in Leogang, as you said, this year, so definitely the future. Started her career with a YouTube video, actually, when she was just 10 years old.
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys haven't seen her Instagram, the Crankworx Roto whip-off, my goodness.
Sitting and spinning along there, but keeping that bike going forwards. Massive margin, doesn't drop off that big rock on the outside, sneaks down the inside there. Hard to emphasize, Elliot, just how steep that is.
Yeah. And there's no break. I was talking to Bernard, even that last corner, we've seen crashes in that last corner, so you can't lose concentration, even though you're close to the finish.
And that's a great shot showing you just how hard it is to get across that camber. You've got to stay high on it. If you drop low, you're definitely going to be losing time.
Like I said, I like that line, setting up high, diving to the inside of that yellow pad rather than going over the stump and outside.
Last turn for Van Leuven. She's going to go fastest by a long margin, actually. And she's going to take down that fastest qualifying time as well of Emmy Lan. Look at that then, a 4:20.2. It's the fastest time of the weekend by around 5 seconds. Van Leuven laying one down here. And look how much that hurts. Full effort, top to bottom on this one, nowhere to hide on the 11.99. Can't even open the bottle of water. She's so exhausted after that. That one physically really hurt, but it was worth it with that time. So Van Leuven leading at 4:20, 12 seconds ahead of Elleni Turkovic.
You can see how late she leaves her braking. Back wheel is locked up almost entirely up until that super steep drop.
And so fast through this rock section, showing that World Cup form.
Yeah, and this is where you can see the gym coming in, right? All that training in the off season, being able to hold yourself up. The confidence that it takes to go into something like that, you know, dive into those ruts that are really just made of dust. Erice in that top spot.
Sitting pretty for now. 6 women left to drop here though. Crankworx Whistler. It's the RockShox Canadian downhill. Canadian Open down, excuse me, and it's Pella Ward from Telluride. World Cup there back in the day, actually 17 years old now. Let's see what this young American woman can do then.
Pella is a super young talent. I was looking at results and she actually didn't lose a race in 2023.
No way.
Yeah.
Let's see what she can do here this afternoon then. Cleanly off that big rock drop. It's around 3 meters actually to the landing off the top of there.
For sure, and I like the way she rides with this knees in style. It might be from her kind of skiing background, but it allows her to use her hips to kind of place the bike where she wants it. It's an interesting style.
And that, in such loose conditions, Elliot, may be a big advantage. Down the outside, they're missing those big holes on the left down there.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of confidence, like you saw, to really turn the bike, you know, slap that corner at the bottom.
Cuts the turns there on the way to the Stevie Smith drop. You see the chainsaw on there. Should give her enough speed to clear this. Well, she hasn't gone for it, actually. Did she break up there?
I mean, you have to pull so hard,
yeah.
Right? Like, it's not just, you can't just come over the drop and then it doesn't give you that much speed.
But if you do the triple on the way out, you will carry so much speed up and over. 1.3 back at split 1 then for Pella Ward. And fast down there into that difficult left. If you can seamlessly get around that, there's got to be half a second.
Yeah, and this track is one where it's as hard as it is, you have to develop some sort of flow. If you kind of get offline, if you try to take too many outsides or something like that, or even try to make the track smoother than it actually is, you really just have to ride the track, ride the roughness, and keep up your speed so you can stay on top of the holes.
So through the next split, and no surprise in losing 8.8 there, but Erice van Leuven was so quick through that rock section. Feet off, that is not good down there. Oh, down she goes. Well, got to find her bike now through the plumes of dust.
That section is incredible. You can't even hardly walk down it.
Look how dusty that is. An explosion of dust. It is so thick and deep today. It's going to be an exciting race, this. It's going to be an unpredictable race, I believe.
I love what they named it to the outdoor research, freewheel fall away, right? And so I think that's pretty appropriate.
Yeah, I do agree as well. Pella Ward keeping on down. And you can feel, I think, at home probably the physicality of this track. You know how long and how steep it is.
So just dabs a foot on that left-hander. Can't get clipped back in with her left foot. On weights her on the left-hand side and then high sides.
24 back.
It's crazy just how young the women's field is now.
How much younger it's got, I think. Even, you know, like it feels really in the last couple of years, and particularly a lot of the young kind of New Zealand women that we're seeing come through, and the way that they can ride. In fact, the way all these new wave of junior women ride, you know, tackling the big jumps, the big hits.
For sure. I mean, I just love to see it. I think that, you know, is how inspiring, you know, people like Miranda Miller, you know, Tracy Hanna, Rachel Atherton, and all of these young women now are just so skilled.
Yeah, they are. There's another insanely skilled wave of young talent going to hit mountain biking very soon. It's already hitting it, but you know what I mean. Here we go then, Pella Ward across the line. Well, kept it honest in that last sector, really. It was in the fourth.
I know she would have wanted to do a little bit better. See her frustrated. She had a really good seating, so good to back that up.
Yeah, so stupid. My foot came off. So yeah, I'm good. It's the worst. Your brakes be like snap down.
Well, a beautiful day here at Creekside on Whistler Mountain. If you just joined us, it's the RockShox Canadian Open Downhill, the opening event of this Crankworx Whistler week. And at the moment, it's Erice van Leuven leading with a 4:20.2, 5 seconds quicker than the fastest qualifier.
And you can see here with Pella, like that knees in style all the way down that rock garden. Typically, especially in a section like that, you'd see the riders allowing that bike to move underneath her. But if you're confident with it, it's everything.
Miranda Miller, the 2017 downhill world champion. She took that in Cairns, Australia from Squamish, 34 years old now. And one of the most committed racers, Elliot, a former World Cup racer, massive injuries throughout her career. Gave up working in the bike shop, I believe, after that World Championship win, and now enjoys everything as an ambassador.
I love Miranda. She is just a perfect ambassador for the sport. Has her own series, her own zine. She did a race in Kenya called Migration, 650 kilometers, 8,000 meters of climbing over 4 days. She can just do anything on the bike.
She can, yeah. Saying that she's super fit for pedaling now, less fit in the arms, which probably not ideal here this afternoon.
Yeah, she was saying, she's like, you need an iron grip.
That's right. And of course, you know, a very close friend of Stevie's. Back in the day, big case off there. I told you that drop is not as small as it looks. And pedaling hard, but she's 1.5 up at split one then, Miller.
She goes, gets this triple, doesn't quite get it. You have to split, you have to sprint across that if you're not going to do the triple. So be surprised if she loses a little bit of time here. She's going to have to make it up in this rock garden,
which she might be able to do, doubling through there as well.
Goes low here.
Yeah, there's a high line. You can actually kind of jump into that if you want to. Let's see what that next split's going to tell us. She's got the rock garden yet, though.
This is a really important section because it does go up. You need to get a couple of pedals up.
And listen to the crowd for Miranda Miller. The Canadians getting behind her here. Takes that low line.
A little bit of a mistake.
There. But threw it pretty clean. She'll be annoyed at that little stall there, though, Elliot.
Yeah, it's going to cost her.
I don't think she'll be green at the next split. It's coming up now. And she's back by 3.4 only. So work to do for Miller from here on down.
Comes through there good. This is going to be,
Ooh, bit of bother there, sits down, gets clipped back in, I think.
That rut is so deep, it catches your pedal. I've seen a couple of people pop a clip out of there, and it's just so hard to get back in. You have to mentally reset for Miranda after those mistakes. So this is that last section. There's plenty of time to be made up from here on down.
Got to get off those brakes, get the pace you can, and no. Well, Miranda not feeling it unless it's a mechanical.
It looked like it might be a fly, so I'm looking back.
But it really is. Big holes in that run-up now.
And you have to, there's nothing you can do on a section like that. How is it? Was it? Maybe not?
No, maybe just feeling she wasn't going quick enough. But anyway, the bike looks all good, but Miranda Miller's bid for the winner this afternoon definitely gone out of the window now.
It is, because you come off of that super steep section and it does get really, really holy, and you just have to kind of...
Yeah, and it was difficult last year, but that's right. But, you know, and we saw some massive crashes there last year as well. And Miller fighting the dust down here, 20 into the red now, of course. I'm going to call that a refusal. That's what they do in show jumping.
Oh.
Yeah, if a horse refuses his jump. Like... We had a refusal at the 5th.
Okay. I only know that Snoop Dogg does the commentary on all the equestrian stuff now, so I watch it. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get him in a mountain biking. We'll both be out of a job. Here we go then. Last turn then for Miranda Miller. And even that last turn, Elliot, looking completely blown out now. Big cheer then as Miller crosses the line. A big race for her, regardless of the result today. Definitely racing in the memory of Stevie Smith.
For sure. Great to see her.
Yeah.
Anytime you see Miranda Miller on a downhill track, it's a treat. So here's Erice van Leuven, our leader. See how aggressive she is. Watch this, just braking all the way into it, popping down, carrying such good speed. All through here.
Hard to scrub any speed in that. If you come over the top of there too fast, it's going to be difficult in this dust to kind of anchor up. And it was interesting to hear Miller saying that sounded like she had made a mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
On that janky kind of run up now to that Red Bull drop, so yeah. Okay. Well, just 4 riders now left at the top. Erice van Leuven looks on, riding for Commencal Lesor. Is it going to be enough? Or can any of the last 4 women take her? Elise Empey now from Mandampol, 20 years old. Racing all the World Cups actually this year, making the semi-finals in Poland. So, you know, it's pretty tricky at the World Cups now.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to get to the finals. And a 4th in qualifying for big impact on the landing.
You know, one of the things I was as I watch her, she has this really kind of good technical style. You see her elbows up, looking through the turns, have good bike body separation. It's a style that you can kind of add a lot of speed to, so I expect her to be good at these steep sections for sure.
Everyone trying to stay out of those holes, it's looking like. Cutting that berm at the bottom a little bit. Aggressive on the pedals there, she knew she needed to be. Coming up to the big...
Yeah, she wasn't quite in the right gear.
No, that's right. Oh, and bravely sends the Smith drop. Squashes it for the double, not the triple. Only 0.56 back at split 1 though, so she is in touch.
That's right. Right after that, there's a bit of a flat section, and we heard so many people talk about that was a key section. So here she goes, she's dropping in the steep part.
Oh, nicely across there, big compression in the bottom. The wooden board, actually, you can see at the bottom of there, added for this year.
That's right.
And I think that's why we're seeing more of the men now jumping into that. It's a pretty wild thing that you'll see a bit later in the show.
Yeah, it's like a 2-story drop.
Basically, yeah.
Really nice to the rock garden there. Able to carry a ton of speed, almost getting that step down right side.
Super clean. It was 0.56 at split 1. She done anything to challenge Van Leuven. Goes 8.4 back now then. Losing massive time between splits 1 and 2, Elliot.
Yeah, that part is kind of the meat of the track, if you will. Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of sections there where you need to carry speed. There'll be a steep section, then it flattens out. So the speed that you carry through a turn is everything.
And pushing on down here, Empey. Yep. Big pull, makes it across there.
forward to seeing how she goes. She doesn't lose too much time in that steep technical section. Needs to pedal through here.
Yeah, she cleaned over the top of that tabletop. They were going to a little boost on here, but look how exhausted everyone is. Sat down, pedaling along there. Nothing left in the legs. Very little left in the arms.
Yeah, you don't really think about how much your legs get tired on a track like this, but you can just see you're just in this squat position the entire time, like doing a wall sit.
The pain in my legs when I used to race was actually unbelievable.
I can imagine, Rob.
Well, if you don't put any pedal strokes in, they're kind of locked in that position for the entire run.
And there is the low line over the stump. Sets you up good on the entry, but it does tighten up that left-hander a little bit more.
And if Empey can keep this going, look at the gap between first and second there. She's going to be good enough to go in a second place. Can she take down Turkovic? Last turn then, Empey sprints towards the line. What's the time going to be? She goes second, 10.7 back, a 4:30.9. Very respectable, but still a massive 10-second deficit between Van Leuven, Empey, Turkovic there. Miranda Miller in fourth and Shania Rawson fifth at the moment.
At what Erice did on sector 2, because all the other riders are well in touch on sector 1 and then 3 and 4.
Well,
But sector 2,
you had a lot of injuries in your career, Elliot?
Yeah, not too many.
Not too many, you didn't do too bad.
But this is Elise coming through that rock section. We saw her right there, like you're going straight at that red pad. You have to do so much. You can see just how technical this track is, how good you have to be. Right to the right of that big rock you saw right there, placing the bike exactly where she wants it to be, looking through the turn. That's pretty textbook.
It is, yeah.
I wanted to show this little section right here because that's the exit to that outdoor research section, and we've seen so many people just get out of shape because it's so steep. They kind of leave their braking just a little bit too late. I think it's one of the kind of key sections we've seen in this women's race.
And now you can see the sunlight out again as well, piercing through in the dust. Very difficult to see in a few sections as well. Well, while Elliot reckons he's never had an injury, I had many. Let's find out what it's like to come back from a broken leg.
I broke my leg the start of March, and I spent like over 2 months off the bike, and it's still like weak and niggly, so I'm just trying to like play it safe.
Jenna Hastings saying that she's playing it safe, but she did qualify third, so she's definitely on pace here. She's saying some of these drops giving her a little bit of trouble, but I saw Bernard Kerr pulling her into those drops. She's definitely up to speed now. She looks aggressive on the bike.
And taking the winning Cairns last year. Do you remember the 2022 Junior World Champion, this woman?
Yeah, she's just trying to find that form again that she had kind of last year.
And it's so difficult to try and come back from injury mid-season when everyone else is kind of up to pace,
yeah,
got no level.
Looking really nice here, though. She's aggressive, pushing.
And carrying great speed. Didn't need to pull up off there.
That's right.
So she should have plenty of speed for the Smith drop. 1.4 into the green then as she goes off there.
She's got
Gonna
speed
send
for
the
it.
triple, no
there
doubt.
We go.
Bernard wouldn't have been happy if she hadn't sent the triple.
Team manager just... Here we go. Let's see if she goes on the right here. Slows
Goes
down.
on to that steep line in there. Full commitment over the top. It's got to be quicker.
Yeah, that's definitely right. And we saw Erice carry a little bit more speed there.
And this might be tackling Van Leuven then. Going to be interesting to see what we can get through this rock section now.
And Jenna just carrying really good speed outside. I really like that. And then inside. She had so much distance off of that last turn.
She did, absolutely did. Just dropped in there. What's the next split going to tell us? Is it green or is it? Yes, it is. 3 seconds up then for Jenna Hastings here. Taking 1.5 out in that sector. Riding cleanly and controlled.
That's right. It just consistently fast through here. Picking up the back end, placing it exactly where she wants to be, pumping into these turns.
So Hastings coming down, back end gets kicking there, but she needed to take that risk to make sure she can get over this drop easily. Again, great speed, didn't even need to pull off there.
This is another one of those key sections. You have to carry a ton of speed down this little step down here because it's flat. No brakes through that corner.
Yeah. Squashes on there, gets on the pedals early. Using the gradient just to take a rest for a second before she gets on the pedals now. 5.1 up. Well, Jenna Hastings coming back from injury. She's going to be happy with this.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
You can
a
see her
huge run.
Rest her hands just a little bit there. Coming into this last section, she's going to be
Fast.
coming up high. I'm interested to see what line she takes here because she was going back and forth between inside and outside. 3 seconds up right now.
Oh, clean through there as well. Elliot didn't make any mistakes. And looking
Inside, there it is. That gives you such a better entry into this left-hand corner.
This is going to put so much pressure on the 2 riders at the top, Matilda Melton and Emmy Lan. This is going to absolutely destroy all those times here. Surely that last turn's getting trickier. Jenna Hastings sprints to the line and goes. Fast there, 7 seconds into the green. 4:30 in the turn to beat. It's a massive run from the New Zealander. Great stuff. Showing us why she was junior world champion.
7 seconds out of a run that to us was looking unbeatable.
I think we talked before her run about putting the pieces together. I think it's fair to say that Jenna Hastings put it all together and more than Eric.
And he still fucking smoked me, bro. I felt so...
This is that high line. So hard to hold. It doesn't look off camber right there, but it's so hard to hold that high. And because she's able to do that, gets the brakes and goes super far inside of that tree, that boxer tree right there. And you can just see the distance, right? Like she didn't carry as much speed right there, but you can imagine her shaving off, 30 meters of distance. So that's always a trade-off with downhill riding. And this is that steep drop in right here.
Yeah, it looked amazing to me what she did through that rock section. Bang on line, no stalls, carried
right.
great pace through it. As she does here, doesn't get hooked up in that bottom left-hander either.
And we heard Erice talk about there's a big drop later down the track, and Erice said that she did it, and Jenna said that she skipped it, maybe nursing that injury, the leg. So it's amazing how well she rode all the technical stuff to be able to do that.
So Jenna Hastings leads, 4:13 the time to beat. Erice van Leuven, 4:20. We go back to 3rd place, 10 seconds again. 4:30 for Elise Empey, and 2 women now left at the top. And the next young American woman, just 16 years old, Matilda Melton from Bellingham. A bit of a mountain bike hotspot, not far actually, over the border from Canada here.
That's right. I mean, Tilly came up under the tutelage of Jill Kintner, so you can just tell how dialed she is. She was telling me, yeah, I mean, talk about dial. That's like the most dialed person you could ever imagine. And she was saying that she actually went up in frame size, so went from a medium to a large, and it's just, kind of loving this track, really able to ride these technical sections because of it.
16 years old, pushing for a Crankworx win. The sport just keeps getting younger. It's incredible. So Melton then.
Oh, gets that out of that. You can.
Yeah,
the only way you do that is when you can get that right-hand turn, jumping far right, pedaling into that switch
She is
back.
a dynamic rider, incredible, and she's up. Look at that then, 87 thousandths into the green, and sends the triple cleanly over that as well.
over it.
Incredible. Amazing to see. Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's going to get that jump, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's gained a little bit of time in that midsection. Let's see how she hits this rock section, because Jenna, this was one of Jenna's best sections.
And I'm going to say Matilda maybe got a little hung up in that left at the bottom of that steep chute, just. But she's going to have to do amazing through here to match Hastings, that's for sure. Takes the low line in, the front snags something, she keeps it going.
Came into there so hot.
And up to the next split, which will tell us everything we need to know then. It was full commitment through there. And she's red by 2.9, 3 seconds back there nearly.
She's aggressive, but she maybe just doesn't quite have the flow on these entries, breaking a little bit. Still looks so good. She's in touch though. I mean, we don't know what happened in that middle section.
But Hastings, to me, it didn't look like she put a tyre wrong anywhere.
That's right.
It was a faultless run. And Emmy Lan, the last rider dropped, going to know about that time.
That's right.
Clean off there then for Melton, no bother. Takes her time in that right-hander to set up a bit. Another almost vertical steep section.
Yeah, and Tilly riding smooth, blows up that outside. riding smooth, but I'm noticing that her entry speed is just a little bit lower than Jenna's everywhere.
5 back now then, yeah. So going south in the lower steep sections. But still pushing on, Elliot. Still looking good. Still looking strong on the bike. Great pace out of the woods.
Yeah, I mean, Tilly is just so strong. You can see how kind of her legs are able to kind of put the bike where she wants it to be.
And to hold her up.
Yeah.
This track is steep, top to bottom.
I can tell she's maybe getting a little bit tired. I don't see the aggression that we saw up at the top.
No,
but riding good, yeah.
Just 16 years old then, Matilda Melton into that last turn. What's it going to be for her? Good enough for a top 3. She crosses the line, goes second. 6.3 up. 6.3 off, excuse me. 4:19. Ahead of Erice van Leuven, incredible.
I mean, guaranteed a top 3 at this point. That is such a good result for Tilly.
Well done, girls.
Okay. Well, one woman left at the top now. Just one to go. Will it be Jenna Hastings? And have a look at this slow-mo, Elliot.
I mean, you can just see how fast she was able to, she jumped off of that, landed right in that rough stuff, forks bottomed out, tries to cut off a little bit further inside, and then we see
look
some
at the
riders.
whole set, loads up the bar. She did well to recover.
Yeah, there's just that deep route. Most people are kind of going right outside of it. She tries to shave off a little bit of distance, go through it. I mean, again, it shows the strength that you have to ride at this level on a downhill bike.
Incredible scenes here then on the 11.99.
Over the Red Bull drop. This is one of those sections I was talking about, the entry speed. Able to set up really nicely, but we didn't see her kind of slide the back end out there. But again, you can just tell how good this woman's gonna be. 16 years old, already competing for wins at this level.
Absolutely. Well, Elliot, you've never ridden this track, have you? You've never pointed a bike down the 11.99. No. I have, and so has this woman. We know exactly how hard this place is.
This is so physical. Like, every muscle is working, and I feel like it's not just like fitness, like pedaling, like your arms are killing, like everything is working super hard.
So Emmy Lan on track, fastest qualified at 4:25, but we're looking at a 4:13 now in this final. Can she find around 12 seconds? Two-wheel drifted off there.
Yeah, she's really gonna push for this, and I know that she's keen for it. Has the fitness for it, comes from that enduro background.
Comes from Vancouver Island, on the forbidden bike. Made over there on that island, on the forbidden plateau. Carrying good speed down there, picking her way through a little bit, Elliot.
Yeah.
Did no double out of that turn either.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what she looks like on this section. This has kind of been our, I like how much speed she's carried out there. That's kind of been the benchmark that tells us what you're at. Only 0.3 back.
0.3, so very in touch, then turning it up for this finals run. Doubles through there. The woman starting a law degree in September, can you believe? Had a 15th in Val di Sole. World Cup this year, so she's going to like these steep sections, which starts right here. This lower section could play into Milan's hands.
Yeah, all of that stuff on Vancouver Island is so steep and so difficult. She'll be used to this type of riding.
And big roar for her. She comes into the rock section, sets up high, and then sends it to that low line.
Oh, really smooth. Gets caught up just a little bit there, but she carried so much speed in the middle of it.
And sent it wide on the way out as well. Let's see then. Split 2 coming up. What's it going to tell us? And Lan 2.8 into the red now. Hastings was so quick through that rock section.
So quick.
And on a different line.
It was just this average speed. We see Emmy.
Nice and tight exit from that turn though, in a full line there.
That's right, getting through that section really, really nice. Not making hardly any mistakes on this entire run. Good speed through there. Back end kicks up. Jenna Hastings looking on to see if she can get her first Crankworx win of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Jenna Hastings, well, that'll signal a magic return from that injury she suffered earlier in the year. Nice low line in there for Emmy Lan, though, still fighting here. 3.6 now into the red. 3.46, excuse me.
Look at that pedaling, standing up. Oh, the only one we've seen stand up through that entire section.
Comes from the Enduro World Series. Won't mind the pain of pedaling. But she's going to need a lot to find 3.4 down here.
Out into the open. This is where we saw Jakob Jewett pull back so much time in last year's broadcast. Goes low there.
Yeah, picking her way through this last wood. It's difficult in there. Going to see some riders caught out in there, I think, today.
Yeah, definitely.
Tired arms. But she's out in the open now. It's a 4:13 she needs to beat. That time goes by. Where's Emmy Lan going to come? She sprints for the line. Emmy Lan goes second, just 3.2 into the red. But it's Jenna Hastings that takes the RockShox Canadian Open downhill win here at Crankworx Whistler. She's absolutely nailed it this afternoon. Great to see, Elliot.
Yeah,
Jenna Hastings can't believe it, I don't think.
No, amazing win.
She was really on another level in terms of speed from everyone. It's that average speed that we talk about in downhill, coming into the turns fast. The exit speed was really good, really strong.
It was a solid run top to bottom for Jenna Hastings.
And here we
Junior world champion a couple of years ago. Injury slowing her down this year. Residing in Machynlleth now in North Wales. Dyfi Bike Park at her fingertips every day.
Well, we've heard so many riders talk about how that's one of the best places to train in the entire world. And you can just see the speed on her. Taking this high line. She's gonna drop in to the left of that yellow pad. We saw so many women getting hung up on that right side.
Amazing run then. And Jenna is with Bree. Over to you, Bree.
Thanks, guys. I am here with the winner of the RockShox Canadian Downhill. Jenna, you've just come back from a broken leg. What does this win mean to you?
Oh, you know, I've had like a tough go at it recently with World Cups and getting injured, but really felt like I needed this one.
Before you said you were a little bit nervous about those rocks, but you didn't look it today. How was it going through the rocks? Tell me about that.
It was sick. Like, normally I try and block out the crowd, but you could hear it. It was just so, like, there's so many people up there, the music, like, everyone screaming your name. It was insane. It just, yeah, it was sick.
I can see the tears in your eyes. This is obviously an emotional win for you. Why is it so emotional?
Yeah, like I said, rough go at it with injuries lately and, like, in the World Cup. So, yeah, it's nice to come here, like, have some good competition, like Emmy and Matilda and the girls, and yeah, it was sick to put a run down that I'm really, really stoked with and proud with, and take the win. It's just a cherry on top.
You've definitely earned it. Enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Jenna Hastings. There's your times then, there's your winner. 4:13.2. Emmy Lan, though, I mean, incredible actually, taking 9 seconds, Emmy Lan, out of her qualifier yesterday. She needed to step it up, she definitely did. 16-year-old Matilda Melton, a 4:19. I mean, what are we seeing, Elliot? The sport is just getting, the women, they're just performing at such a young age now. It's mad.
Such a young age and at such a high level. And I think it's, you know, it goes back to a lot of the support, you know, with Tilly on that transition team. You know, Jenna kind of came up on the pivot team.
Yeah.
I think that just shows, once you get the support, once you get the exposure, it makes all the difference.
Okay, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back after this break. Thank you.
Prepare your bike. Visualize the track. Keep your blood pumping. Every mistake is a new opportunity. Keep your grip loose for the wildest rides. Bike on Red Bull TV. Riding a bike down the tightest streets and steepest staircases sounds like a plan. The ultimate urban downhill race series goes global this year. 3 continents, but only one direction.
Look at that.
Downwards. Red Bull Cerro Abajo Series 2024. Live on Red Bull TV.
Incredible it was too, and now we've got the very special guest, 5 times the World Cup Series winner, A'Hern Gwynn joins us. How are you, A'Hern?
Good, brother.
What do you make of that women's race, huh?
Crazy, man. The track, I practiced it the first couple of days, and I was just watching it on screen. I can't believe how much rougher it's gotten already for race day, and we've got a lot more left to come. So it's kind of nice to be down here just hanging out, if I'm honest.
It's a bit hot for riding bikes.
Yeah, it is warm today. It's everything's kind of coming together, but man, what a proper track. It's I keep saying it's like the gnarliest World Cup of the year that's not a World Cup. It feels like that.
What does that mean? Like, why is it so gnarly?
I mean, it's the Stevie Smith Memorial track, right? Like, dude, you got to do it right if you're going to do it for Stevie.
Come on in, we got Stevie Smith. We can't talk about this. We got Stevie Smith's mum here, and we absolutely love her. And it's amazing that you're here. And what does it mean to you to see this go off today?
Oh, it's awesome. I just love seeing this and seeing all the people up there. I got to go up top and watch at different sections.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love it. I just wish he was here to ride it.
We do as well, my love. Of course we do. Yeah, it's amazing. You want to stay with us for the mid-show, or you can just hang out? You haven't got a microphone. It's up to you. It's always good to have you here. Yeah. But it was. Did you like the women's race?
Yes.
Good.
Of course. I love watching the women because Steve was always encouraging wanting more girls out there because, you know, he liked the girls.
I think we better move on a bit.
Anyways. Mom throwing him under the bus. Yeah.
Well, let's have a look then back at this winning run of Jenna Hastings, because it was spectacular today, wasn't it?
Yeah, Aaron, I was talking about how I just felt like she carried so much like average speed. The entries to the corners were really good. Was there anything that you noticed that she did special?
Yeah, I think just like you just said, I mean, right there, that right-hander she went around, that is such a tricky, rough corner. If you get sucked wide and you lose your speed and you got to pedal out of it, she wasn't having to throw those little kind of catch-up cranks in between sections. She was just carrying such good speed. She was getting over the jumps easy. Like you said, I think just that overall track speed. This section she's in here is actually pretty flat in the middle, and it's so rough. If you kind of get offline a little bit, it really makes you pay. But you see right there, getting over the jumps fine. I think this uphill triple she got right here too.
She was just carrying so much pace.
Yeah. She was the only one that got it really, really clean.
I mean, you've been riding the track this week. Excuse me, A'Hern. What? Like this dust, I mean, it's pretty, it's a different thing to ride, right?
I mean, even right here at the bottom of this wood ramp, those roots right there weren't there first day of practice. Like the dirt just keeps going away.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Val d'Isole, honestly. One of my favorite tracks. There's a lot of line, but
won it by 7.8 seconds.
There's been 0 rain this weekend, so man, the track is hammered. Lots of lines, lots of loose rocks too. So definitely a very proper track. So hats off to her. What a run.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Coming back from a bust leg as well. I mean, difficult to come back. You know how difficult it is to come back from injuries at the moment, A'Hern, eh?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've just been back on the bike a few days, and I kind of jumped into this practice day 1, and I was like, wow, I got a little catching up to do. So it was fun in sections for sure. Feeling pretty good. But to put together a top to bottom run on this course, I mean, it's just, there isn't like the main hard section. The whole track is one big technical hard section, so it's definitely relentless physically.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's Jenna Hastings, that incredible run, a massive winning margin. And a great run for, well, A'Hern, of course, you may remember a few years ago, when was it, 2017? 2014 or 15? 2015, excuse me. Gonna not credit you too recently. You had an amazing chainless run.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Me, bro.
I'll get my coat. You've done the same here, right?
Yeah, we did a little chainless run here. It was nice. I had an excuse not to have to pedal. So I was trying to talk and ride at the same time and not suck too much wind down. But,
do you know what I remember about your Leogang run? You stepped off your bike in the finish area and you went, oh man, that bike feels pretty good without a chain.
Nothing
but
rattling
they do
around.
work a little bit better, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're really quiet. These new bikes have these idler pulleys and stuff, so you really don't. We have this new E13 hub on here, so between those two things, you don't get a lot of pedal kickback, but just the quietness on a track that's this rough, there's just nothing moving around. It is kind of nice, and honestly, this track, besides that one big, long straightaway kind of just up from the finish here, there's not really a need to really paddle that much, so it was a little easier on me than the Leogang run was.
I bet, mate. A little bit less pressure as well.
Yeah.
Although you had more time to think about this one.
We did. I know.
That's
that middle jump is kind of big, and I was like, I gotta make sure I get that corner right, because I don't want to case that one.
You made the tabletop even, no cranks.
Yeah, we got that.
He's got it, mate. He's got it.
Yep.
And like we say, Aaron, you know, everyone saw you riding in practice like you said you did. Everyone's been saying, Aaron Gwynn's racing. I want to ask you, when are you coming back? I'm a fan, man. When are you coming back?
I know, sorry I threw some people off. Yeah, I was just kind of hoping to come out and get some laps in on a proper track, and I've had a couple other little setback, weird injuries and stuff the last couple months.
I saw you on crutches earlier this year, right?
I ended up with a bruised foot after walking the track in Poland.
Oh, no!
I don't know if that was maybe too much shoveling and hiking around at Windrock or something, but kind of finished it off, so I was off the bike another month and a half and just got back on. So I just wanted to come out here and ride, hang out. We're going to do a whole lot of riding over the next week, so just excited to get back into the swing of it.
And I feel like, Aaron, you know, you are who you are. Like, as I said, a 5-time series winner, the only man to win 5 World Cups, and you're the only man to win 4 World Cup races in a row. You smashed all records when you came into the sport. You're known for phenomenal pace, and I get a feeling you won't come back until that phenomenal pace is there, right? There's a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a little wiser as I get older, kind of figuring out, you know, come back when you're ready, when you're fit and you're healthy, and don't just let the injuries kind of keep stacking up. So that's kind of what I'm doing. It's a new bike with Crestline, new suspension, a lot of new stuff, and then me just kind of being off the bike for a year. So just going to take it 1 week at a time. Might try to show up at national champs and throw down a race run here in a couple of weeks.
Here we go.
We'll see.
Well,
you getting your bike out, Elliot?
Come on, boy.
What I'm going to do is have you show us about the bare necessities, I think it is. Let's see what Rob let's see what Rob was up to during the week, actually.
Rock. Hey, I'm Mark Wallace. We're here at the 1199 downhill track, and today we're going to be talking about the RockShox Rock Garden. As soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, Rob's here. RockShox. We're here in the RockShox Rock Garden. The rocks are moving. There's dust, bigger holes every lap. Let's talk about suspension setup. What are you thinking for this bit?
Yeah, this is a proper section of track. Setup wise, yeah, I'm usually on the enduro bike, so I've had to start from scratch this weekend on the Boxer. I've just set my sag, middle for compression, middle for rebound. Went up a couple of clicks of high speed today just to keep my front end up in the holes, but it's a good place to start.
Yeah, it's a great way to do it. I ended up going about 5 PSI today, just for that more support, especially down the steeps at the bottom and some of the bigger holes through the middle. Been riding the Boxer all season, so I feel like I've got it pretty sorted out by now.
When the trail fights back, you need the RockShox Boxer.
Whoa, cut! Huh?
Not that Boxer. This one.
Yeah, it's actually lovely. Now, the bottom half of me is air conditioned, it's perfect. No sweaty nuts here. To be honest, the bear did have a fan right where I needed it to keep it in. Sorry, I shouldn't have. Anyway, let's move back on to Crankworx and see what's been happening on the downhill stops this year. And of course, we started in Rotorua, and it was Lucky Stevens McNabb, who has been brilliant at the World Cups as well, hasn't he? But this was some run, right, Elliot?
Yeah, I mean, he really set the year. He kind of came into the year firing, and he showed us what he was going to do for the rest of the year. I mean, we saw that podium at the World Cups, and him and Ellie started the year off right.
Absolutely, yeah. And then Cairns, Australia. This man actually missed Red Bull Hardline, said, I'm not coming. I'm going to focus on Cairns. Went out and absolutely smashed it. What a run from him. Going to see him in action in the upcoming men's race this afternoon.
Aaron, we always talk about Connor having this like incredible corner speed. Is that true? Is that, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I saw him in practice the other day, and he was ripping the flat pedals, too. I don't know how he keeps his feet on a track like this, but, dude, Connor, one of the best in these types of conditions, for sure.
Yeah, right. He might turn it up this afternoon. It's great that we've got such a good entry, actually. Loads of top, fast riders here this afternoon. Let's have a look at the seeding, then, for this men's final that's coming up now. This is what happened yesterday, and it was the man who won the pro race here last year, Jakob Jewett. Look at that, a 3:26 on the clock. Dakotah Norton, he's been smashing it at the World Cup races. Dakotah been impressive, hasn't he, this year?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel he's been riding better than his results, perhaps.
Yeah, for sure. You got to feel like that first World Cup win is coming. A couple little crashes and mistakes this year, but yeah, Dakotah just kind of establishing himself as kind of a top 3 guy every weekend now.
Yeah, and he was talking about how inconsistent the track was, wanting to push but not really knowing if there's going to be support there. Just seems like it's one of those tracks where you would really want to only put down like one finals run at full pace.
So there it is. Plenty of big names. Tuhoto in there, Richie Rude as well as this fella Ronan Dunne. You might want to keep an eye on this. And the track so far is pretty much my favorite track. This is it. Proper track. Savage.
Good way to say it.
Yeah. He makes it seem so chill, and you go and talk to him, and it's like, yeah, like, all good. Yeah, it's all good, proper track or whatever. And you see him ride, you're like, you're not chilling, Yeah. You just drank 15, energy drink.
15 of these, and he's just sending it.
That's right. Well, let's if you didn't watch last year's race, enjoy this. This is incredible from Jakob Jewett, the winning run from last year. The winning pro run, as we said earlier in the show, it was his younger brother Dane in the junior race earlier in the day that had the fastest time of the day, and they're both racing this afternoon. But look at this pace, man.
Yeah, impressive, man. Such cool kids. We were out at dinner with them and Dakotah actually last night. Just the nicest kids, that whole family. Such good style on the bike. I mean, they're right here near home. I think Squamish is home for them, right down the road.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely got a lot of friends and family supporting this weekend, and man, we'll see if they can pull it off again. It would be pretty special for sure.
And going quickly back to Dakotah, we spoke to him last night. He's a little stressed, right? Worlds 3 weeks ago. I don't know what we're going to get out of him today.
Yeah.
Is it going to be all out or a little conservative?
Dakotah's always a little stressed, I think, but it's a tricky one, man. I mean, he's got, eyes on world champs here in a couple weeks, as does Jakob and Dane, but it's, when you come to these races like this, especially when the track is this hard.
That's right.
There's a bit of risk if you really want to win.
Dust, you can't see everything. Hey, we got to get on with the race anyway, Aaron. We're going to see you in the post show, right?
Yep, thank you guys.
So you go and enjoy this.
Enjoy.
Thanks very much, and we'll see you in a bit, and stay with us. We'll be right back with the men's race after this.
Prepare your bike. Visualize the track. Keep your blood pumping. Every mistake is a new opportunity. Keep your grip loose for the wildest rides. Bike on Red Bull TV. Riding a bike down the tightest streets and steepest staircases sounds like a plan. The ultimate urban downhill race series goes global this year. 3 continents, but only one direction.
Look at that.
Downwards. Red Bull Cerro Abajo Series 2024. Live on Red Bull TV.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Crankworx Whistler, where the RockShox Canadian Open downhill is in full effect. I'm Rob Warner, Elliot Jackson is alongside me. And if you've just tuned in, it's time for the men's race.
Man, we had an incredible women's just finished, and Jenna Hastings laid down an incredible run. I think it's shows us what we're about to see coming up in the men's. This rock garden has played a huge role today.
Played a huge role in last year's race.
That's right.
This is going to be pretty wild, this men's race this afternoon. The dust is feet deep.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
And there's who knows what lurking underneath it.
Yeah, that's right. And the riders haven't ridden this track in a couple hours, so all the lines that they had in practice are gone.
And this is the man sat in the hot seat at the moment then, Bode Burke. Just over the border in the USA.
Yeah, like I was saying, this was earlier today. You can see the lights a bit different coming down there. That outdoor research section that we saw play a big role in the women's as well. So much of this track is, like we were talking about in the mid-show, just carrying speed. And there's that last right-hand turn.
I think that it's looking more and more blown out.
Well, I think what we're going to see is riders kind of check up just a little bit and try to go inside of that big rut. Because if you get in there, not only is it going to slow you down, but it really hooks. So you're hooking back out off of that last little drop.
Yeah. And last year, from the last split to the very bottom, Jakob Jewett took 2 seconds out of everybody. And when you're talking about the 11.99, which is just full on from the very start to the very end, you can literally make time, lose time on every section of this track. You know, it's a really, really difficult one, top to bottom. Mark Wallace, the first to drop in. Connor Fearon, Jackson Frew, watch out for those 2 Australians. Bernard Kerr, Tuhoto-Ariki Pene, former king of Crankworx. Richie Rude, a world champion in the past in enduro. Ronan Dunne, a World Cup win, 2 Red Bull Hardline wins to his name. Danny Hart, 2-time world champion. Dane Jewett, the young man who won juniors here last year with the fastest time of the day. We go to the last sheet. Ryan Griffith, Kye A'Hern, Dakotah Norton knocking on the door of that first World Cup win. Can he win here today, or will it be Jakob Jewett again? So let's have a go.
Man, what an incredible lineup of riders. Really good to see Ryan Griffith right up there. I was talking to his team right before the race, and I said, what do you make of the kid? And they all just said he goes.
Where do you think this one will be won today, Elliot?
Everyone has been talking about this kind of key section in the middle, and I think it's not just in one section, it is in these in-between moments. There's a lot of steep sections and then they flatten out, but this
man knows where this race will be won.
I couldn't agree.
The middle section after the big drop, where it's quite flat, it's really rough this year and it's really hard to carry speed. So if you make a mistake anywhere in the beginning, you suffer for a long, long time. So I think that's a pretty key section.
And he's on the track then from Vancouver Island, just across the water. Spends most of his time training on Mount Preville over there. Mark Wallace on track then, very close with Stevie Smith. He was actually his protege back in the day.
There's that section
his training partner.
Aaron was talking about. Gets that outside line and then
carried
hops
so
up.
much pace
yeah, that's
around
right.
the outside.
You have to get up to that rock so that you can carry good speed over the road.
So Wallace, ferocious, as I say, phenomenally fit. Oh, gaps through there, look at that. Finding these gaps wherever he can. Beautifully off that drop as well. Off the chainsaw drop then. 0.9 into the red, nearly a second off though, Elliot.
Yeah, and that's really what we're looking for, is like who has the best rhythm. You'll see so many people just kind of hopping, avoiding the bigger holes. Jumps way into that, goes over those roots. Really nice through there. Set him up good for this little slight uphill.
Couple of pedals in there, yeah. And listen to the roar for the Canadians as he come into the rock section.
Look at the speed.
Low line.
Oh.
And then wide on the exit. You're going to see all manner of lines through there this afternoon.
Yeah, and Mark Wallace, that is a classic Mark Wallace section.
Splitzer, and he's lost another 0.4. Wow, wow, wow.
Track
incredible.
Starts to get steep here. We'll see. I would expect Mark to be really good in that middle section. There's 2 really key sections right here. This is one of them. So really,
I'll tell you what I do know, Bode Burke has laid down a scorcher if he's putting time into Mark Wallace when he's riding like this. Insane.
Yeah.
The steeper it gets though, the more Mark will gap in down there as well. Oh, speed of it.
And Mark is just so strong He's definitely going to be standing up through here. Take a little bit of a rest.
1.4 back there now. Still not impossible, as we say. Remember, Jewett 2 seconds quicker than anyone last year from that last split down.
Yeah, I really like that outside, jumping out there. It's a lot smoother. It gets you back up onto that exit of the woods.
Catches that little berm there, fighting to stay high on that camber. He's managed it. And this
takes
still...
that outside.
Oh, beautiful through that turn there. That last wood's tricky.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you're absolutely exhausted. So as Mark Wallace found 1.4 seconds then from split 4, where's he going to cross the line? He goes second, 2.6 into the red. I'm quite surprised watching Mark ride there, how clean and good he looked.
Yeah, definitely. Bode Burke.
Yeah.
Amazing run. Is that rock section gonna be the main line that we see? We heard them talking about Mark going up 5 PSI. It's for things like that, so that when you're at race pace, the forks never get too low, because as soon as they bottom out and they never come back up, that's when you go over the bars. Off this Red Bull drop. Really want to get set up into that next bit, carry as much speed as you can onto the flat. Elliot running 2 dry tires here, 23, 27. Pretty common tire pressure there. A little bit lower in the front than some. A lot of people running 24, 25.
Let's see what he can do then. Elliot Jamieson from White Rock, just 22 years old. Short sleeves for him. He might be happy the sun's gone in. You'll be able to see a little bit better now through the trees.
Yeah, well, he's an enduro rider. I mean, 7th place at the last CDR.
That's right. Turn to enduro more in recent times, but that's a big result to get inside the top 10.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really riding well on this new team this year. You get to hear how much stuff is in the track. You can't even see so many of the rocks that are in the track there. You just kind of have to carry your speed. And
it's got a punch.
Like, yeah, I feel like we heard it coming down.
Yeah,
that's
section. Probably what we heard. That big bang there.
Well, there's nothing you can do. You can't really avoid something like that.
I think it's a front flap.
Yeah, it does.
Oh. No riding that out.
No.
Well, that's a shame for Jamieson then in this final here. Long way at the bottom with no air in that front tire.
Especially
oh my word.
Yeah, it's so frustrating on a track like this. People talking about. Here's the run from Bode Burke. See how much speed he's carrying. Using the wood to kind of get his back in, slid out. Haven't seen too much of Bode yet, so this will be a good result for him, guaranteed in the top 20.
Yeah, good ride for Burke at the moment.
And here we go. You can see her pedaling into that last bit, diving into the deep rut.
And just a little bit of a side note here. That time at the moment of Bode Burke, that 329.1, would have been quicker than Jakob Jewett's winning time of 329.8 last year, but slower than his younger brother Dane Jewett's time of 328.76. But if you want absolute referencing, Finn Isles rode here in practice last year and quali, but then hurt his thumb before the final. He did have the fastest time of the weekend. It was a 27.7, which I'm going to say is a course record. They've made a few little changes here this year, but I'm going to say it's about valid.
Yeah. I mean, it's slightly faster in some parts here, and then maybe slightly slower. I mean, the track is definitely a lot rougher than it has been every year. They don't have this track open, so it stays soft. Kind of whole year gives it time to heal up. They do some testing out here on this 1199 Whistler Mountain Bike Park, really wanting this to be the center of Canadian downhill, running testing sessions out there, coaching and camps for the younger generation.
Yeah, 7 years it took to build it. When you walk down it, you'll know why. When you see what it comes through.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Bernard Kerr, Mick Hanna out here kind of laying some flags.
So Elliot Jamieson making his way down with that flat front tyre. As we go to the top for Connor Fearon from the Coromandel Valley, Adelaide in Australia, 30 years old now. And watch out for him, the winner of Crankworx Cairns this year. He's got it in him and win here today, believe me.
I think he's keen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he definitely likes these dry tracks on the flat pedals.
9th here last year. Started last season, though, with a broken collarbone. If you remember, this was his first race back. It's a fully fit Connor Fearon now wide around there. Let that bike run, didn't he?
This is classic Connor.
Yeah. He let the bike roll. He let it run there, carrying amazing corner speed.
Yeah,
Pumping.
he's just so smooth, pumping everywhere, not even having to take cranks.
Squashes off the Smith drop, and he's up by 39 thousandths then. Wow. Tripling over there hard on the pedals across that camber.
And here we go. This is where we're going to look for Connor to...
Oh, doubles in! There it is! And that, honestly...
And inside of the roots, just shaving off distance everywhere he can.
And that is so wild to watch riders just come over the top of there and gap into this rock section now then.
Oh, so smooth. He just makes it look so nice. You know, takes a foot off there, but that's okay. That's what flat pedals are for.
Yeah, he got bumped. Didn't slow him down. What's the next split? Surely further into the green. Waiting for it to appear.
And this is that steep section. We saw so many of the women getting a foot caught out there on the inside. The rut is just so deep. It's a classic Australian conditions.
Yeah, Fearon absolutely letting it roll. 5 World Cup podiums in his career.
You saw him let go of the handlebars right there just to get some extra strength for this next part, because you have to jump off of that.
And all the riders, Elliot said, just how physical it is. 1.7 into the red then.
We know he can pedal. We saw it at Cairns, that last little section.
He's tucking there. He's going to have to really go to find that kind of time between the bottom. Not impossible, though. Some time can be made there. The further you're prepared to let it roll up that big rock and just carry speed as well.
Yeah, it takes the inside. It's going to be one of those sections that the flat pedals are nice on, that big out in the open. A little hung up. He might have dropped low.
Yeah.
Trying to...
Threading it nicely through there,
insides.
Though. It's tricky, that last wood. Still going on. So, last turn then for Connor Fearon. Don't know if he's dropped his chain, perhaps. Just rolling to the line. He goes 5th at 3.9. Put a few pedal strokes in there.
Yeah, I'm...
Looks good.
I'm wondering, he just, it almost was like a completely different riding style at the bottom of the track there. Here's that drop. He came in so fast, gets out wide, and actually kind of hips, sets himself out. See, just using that, and look how close he gets to this tree on the left-hand side. Over those 2 roots, maybe 2 or 3 inches. If he was 2 or 3 inches to the right, he would have gotten stuck in that hole. Shows you how precise all this stuff is.
Back to the top then for Jackson Frew from Gowrie. 26 years old now, this man. The Australian dropping in here, second in Cairns downhill last year, actually, only 0.3 of a second off Mick Hanna there.
Yeah, spends a ton of time at Threadbow. It's a really rocky, pre-hops that.
Yeah, a junior medal as a junior, actually, at World Championships, telling us this man will have some pace.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a precise rider. Watching him on the track, trying different lines. Haven't seen this one before. Outside the tree.
Oh! Plumes of dust being sent up by Jackson Frew there. Squashes there as well, but nearly
lots
timing,
of pace.
Timing up those holes perfectly, and he's up 4 thousandths then. So Frew in the green at the top of this track. A man who does speed and style. 3rd in Cairns this year, 2nd.
Can ride any kind of bike.
Yeah, absolutely, and 4th in the downhill last year as well. Into the rock section now, though.
Interested to see what line he ended up choosing. He was looking at outside. Chooses to go inside.
A lot of riders sticking on that line. You're going to see some, I think, try and hold that camber on the way in. It's super risky to try and stay high all the way through it. 1.3 up then at split number 2.
Staying high out of the ruts there. I really like that.
Brilliant riding from Jackson Frew. So steep as out on the exit of that right-hander there.
Yeah, you can see him locking his legs, getting on the back of the bike, trying to get traction.
Difficult turn at the top of there as well, but Frew looking super smooth there, Elliot.
Yeah, just hopping everything that he needs to, really. Going inside, I like that. I saw him waiting there. It's so hard. As soon as you drop over that, the track just drops away, and it's gotten worse and worse.
And he carried great speed through that turn. Hard on the pedals here, but into the red by 59 thousandths then.
One of the fittest guys on the circuit.
Look at that, Elliot. Red on the bottom sector of this course. Can he fight back and find less than a tenth is all he needs?
We saw how aggressive Bode Burke was in this last split.
Yeah, let's not forget about Bode Burke leading at the moment. Incredible run from him. Jackson Frew may challenge it though.
There's that line left of the pad.
Threading a needle through there.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yep, straightens it right up, doesn't it? Back out into the sunshine then for Jackson Frew. It's been a good run, perhaps losing a bit of intensity at the bottom, and he's not going to make it. He goes second. A good run for him, point at 3.9 off. But it's Bode Burke from Jackson Frew, the man we just saw. Mark Wallace, Casper Woolley, Drake Parker, your top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, and you can see Bodhi, once you start ticking off these names like, you know, a Connor Fearon, a Jackson Frew, Mark Wallace, you're like, what did I do up there?
Big names, right?
Yeah. Here it is. You can see Jackson. I talked about how Connor was a couple of inches, if he was a couple of inches to the right, and that was what Jackson just fell into. That's why his back end slid out there over that big root.
Next man to drop from Queenstown, 22 years old, Bradley Haas. Races the Downhill Nationals at home, actually got 3rd of the last round. Races the EDR around the globe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you watch this guy ride the Queenstown Bike Park. Skyline is just, is pretty incredible. So, actually a former Pink Bike Academy rider, which is pretty cool. That series choosing different riders to get a factory ride. Interested to see what he can do on the downhill bike.
Yeah, very interesting indeed, actually. Gets into that turn a little earlier than some of the others there. Carrying good pace through here.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit off on the rhythm through there.
Just late, wasn't he, in one of those holes there, a touch. And he's back by 2.476 then. 2.5 seconds to find. He'll do well to turn that around, I think, here this afternoon. Big gap into there.
I was talking to a couple of the riders, and sometimes you get locked into a slow rhythm, maybe double things that you should have been tripling. See how he goes through this rock section, that same line.
That was
nice
quick
through
coming
there.
in, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's a little bit of speed in that bottom bit. It's getting so blown out.
He might have got a little bit offline there. What's it going to be? 3.5, so falling further into the red now.
And it's really almost, you can kind of see from the very start who has the intensity, who has the rhythm, who's able to be confident and kind of commit to these really open, fast, loose turns.
And also, Elliot, you know, you just keep that intensity from the very top to the very bottom of this long, physical. I mean, this is absolutely World Cup level. And more, the 11.99.
And I think on a track like this, it's so easy to make a mistake, and you're never going to have a perfectly clean run. And so you have to mentally, multiple times, you know, maybe a dozen times, get back into the mode, get back into that flow state, and not dwell on the past, not dwell on a slip pedal or a missed line.
In this last little tricky wood, doesn't get the that's got to be quicker, hasn't it? If you can make it, it straightens out so much, takes that turn if you can get to the left of that yellow pad.
Well, the hard part is you have to come on that off camber and get way back up high.
Tricky to set up for Bradley Harris, and cross the line in 12th place. 15 riders to go if you just joined us. It's the RockShox Canadian Open Downhill Crankworx Whistler is upon us.
Yeah, good
and
for...
it's Bode Burke leading with a 3:29.1.
See how this looks. He had a really nice entry right here. Mentioned getting over that little root. Lots of speed here, but there's a big rock that you'll see him go over right there. Kind of got him offline a little bit, call it reaching for the turn. And when you do that, all of that reaching, all of that roost is gonna slow you down. This guy.
Bernard Kerr then. What will he be able to do here today? 3 times a Red Bull Hardline winner.
Well, we were wondering what happened here, actually. We were wondering, he did give us a little bit of insight. I'm interested to see if we can catch that later, but.
From Surrey in the UK, 33 years old now. And he will attack here this afternoon. Booked himself a place at the World Championships representing the UK in around 3 or 4 weeks' time now.
Talked to him, and all he said to me is, I am ripping today.
At the 8 in Leogang, the World Cup this year.
Really nicely there. It's going to get him a lot of speed. Can he get this little hop into that berm?
Oh, stylish as ever through there.
Hanging off the back.
And he's back by 1.1, so Kerr won't be happy with that, Elliot.
No,
Losing serious time at the top.
Yeah, interested to see if there was a mistake.
Quick in there, though. Super quick over the top of there.
You see him, he's trying to be aggressive. He might be maybe forcing it just a little bit. You need that average speed that we were talking about.
And we see him come second at both the Red Bull Hardlines this year, the one in Tasmania and the one in Wales, both to the upcoming Ronan Dunne. Second split for Kerr, and he's good. He's pulled it around, takes 1.5 in that sector, 0.3 up. He was so quick, actually, over the top of that drop.
And that's what we were talking about. No matter what happens, you have to get back into it, stay aggressive.
Impressive then. Can Bernard Kerr keep the intensity now to the bottom?
Oh, it looked really good through there.
It's so janky, so nasty through there.
Oh, really nice. You can see him kind of letting up, getting a breath before you go into this section right here.
5th overall the World Cup in 2022.
Oh, way high. This is going to be really nice. He's going to get some good pedals through this.
Still in the green, the gap coming down though. Almost neck and neck with Bode Burke. What's Kerr got left in the tank for this last sector?
He needs to stay aggressive like we've talked about. We saw how aggressive Bode was.
Yeah.
Hops that, really nice. He's probably been talking to Jakob about what he was doing in the previous years. So he knows you can make up time, that this is a key section to this run.
It really is, yep. Goes for that gap, makes it through there nicely as well. But Kerr looking like he's kept the intensity. What's the clock gonna tell us? It's gonna be tight, this one. Last left for Kerr. Did he come inside of there? I think so.
That's good. I knew he wanted that.
Oh, he goes third! He goes third! 1.039. This is a big day for Bode Burke. Taking down some major World Cup scalps.
Yeah. Vernon's going to be pretty disappointed with that when there was flashes of brilliance in this run.
That's right.
And just a couple of mistakes, a couple of sections that we...
And going back to seeing the front end of his bike come off in Rotorua, we saw that at the start of his run. It was a bonding, as you've heard him say if you watched the pre-show, a bonding fault, which has definitely been proved because since then he jumped the gap, the huge gap at Red Bull Hardline Wales with no issues, amongst many other things.
Yeah.
So,
prototype bike.
Yeah, interesting. Is he limping a little there? Maybe a knock in practice earlier today, but on the hot seat he goes. Luca Shaw from the USA now, a man who definitely can ride in for the Canyon Collective, 27 years old. US national champion.
Yeah, he's going to be hyped up. He loves a little bit of nickel back before his run to get him in the mood.
And he's been riding so well this year. 7th overall in the World Cup standings at the moment. Oh, back at split 1.
Yeah, I know, and he is so smooth.
And top 10 at every World Cup this year except Leger, which was a bit of an anomaly, you'd have to say, for everyone.
Definitely.
Quick through there, he timed that up nicely, I thought.
You can almost never tell how fast Luca is going because he always just looks so in control.
Yeah, he absolutely does. So,
Here we go. Let's see what he can do through this. Oh, so fast through there. It's just so smooth. He's so good on the brakes. You don't see him sliding the back end into that turn or anything. Not even having to pedal through there, just getting perfect pumps.
Here he comes in.
There's that outside.
Yeah,
he's trying to stay way high. He's going to go inside.
Oh, I like that line. I do.
Shaves off so much distance.
Yeah. It's really difficult, though, to stay high. Second split. Oh, he's up by 0.74 then.
Comes into there so fast.
Is that down to that line in the rock section, Elliot?
I mean, he is just so good at holding high. He's so good on the brakes.
Yes. Amazing to see that. Can Luca Shaw?
Oh, jumps out of that turn. This is Luca. He's so strong on the bike. I know he's been working really hard with this trainer, you know, able to just do these races after races.
Holds
inside
a tight
there.
line there. Yeah, he really did. He shaved off some distance there. 1.3 then. With the last split on track, and he's going to bury himself.
Yeah, you
Big
know Luca
run.
Shaw is not going to sit down on the pedal.
5th in Fort William, 6th in Poland, 7th in Leogang, 9th in Val di Sole. This is one of the fastest downhill races on the planet right now, and he is showing it here at Crankworx Whistler. Big run from Luca Shaw.
Getting this high line.
Doesn't bother.
Oh no! Misses.
Did he miss it?
Yeah, he missed it. A little bit of a mistake there.
Ah! It looked like he was going for it. What's that going to do with the clock? Got to be able to think on your feet in these downhill runs. Pedals towards the line, and Luca Shaw goes fastest. Oh, a 3:27.35. 1.7, big margin into the green.
Yeah, what an awesome run. He'll be stoked to get a good run in here. Solid run on that. Still about a second off of Jake Jewett's run, but we know the track has gotten so much rougher. Here's that high line. So you can see you can carry a little bit more speed in, and like I said, this looks easy, but that is so off camber. You have to be so precise. You can see him steering the bike with
Look at what he's riding over.
Right? He's steering the bike with his knees, and then this, you have to get some brakes right there, back tire locking up, and then going inside.
Okay, well, an amazing run from Luca Shaw as Bodhi Kuhn from Rossland here in Canada, just 19 years old, makes his bid for glory on the RockShox Canadian Open.
Saw him after dinner yesterday. He did have a bit of a mistake, a little bit sore today, but he is still riding so good. It was just one of the fastest people I saw all week in practice.
13th in qualifying, yeah.
He's going to try to make up a lot of time in this top section, I think.
He's working hard.
Oh.
Little hook up over the top of there, perhaps.
Yeah, misses his braking point there just a little bit.
Squashes hard there, gets some pump. What's the split gonna tell us then? Luca Shaw leading. He's back by over a second then. But not impossible.
Not impossible. I think he might have gone outside right before he came into vision. Interested to see what this does to the split. Goes high. You really have to work the bike through the section we're seeing right now.
You've got to be.
Force it to go faster.
Yeah. Oh, and goes onto the low line there. Big kick as he comes into this rock section. Oh, it's wild in there.
That's right, yeah. Maybe see him.
Gets sent a little bit, holds on to it. Next split, he's 1.8 now into the red.
Still good for Bodhi. Having a couple of, kind of getting stood up in a couple of turns. Oh, that is so good.
It's full commitment in these turns here. What a track the 1199 is.
I really like what Luca did hopping out of that turn over the rocks.
Full wide there,
nice.
squares it up though. Lovely, wasn't it?
Kind of like a old school supercross turn.
Yeah. Low in that turn as well. And still giving it absolutely everything. 2.46 back now though.
Yeah, he's digging deep here.
It's finals day. You might as well give it everything you've got off that rock. We will see some riders, I think, Elliot, going further off that rock, wider off that rock, carrying more speed as the finals unfold.
Yeah, that's right. Bodhi coming into that off-camp, or that last big outside, really good, getting a late break, hopping in, And that wasn't a mistake. He came in low so he could get that outside, carry more entry speed.
Well, it's been a dynamic run, hard on the pedals is there. Oh, Bodhi Kuhn not going to tackle that time of Luca Shaw. Good enough for 5th. 3 seconds into the red.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that. I mean, definitely not feeling 100% today, so it's good for him to dig deep, get a race run under his belt, get ready for last bit of the World Cup season coming up.
12 riders left to go here this afternoon. Getting towards the top 10 now.
Yeah, and I think we should see him coming into this turn. We call it kind of getting stood up, and a lot of the times the reason that happens is because you miss your braking point. So you'll see him, he carries a lot of speed off of that, gets a little bit unsettled right there. Back tire doesn't kick out where he thought it was because it got caught on that rock. Couple autographs, superstar.
Absolutely, yeah. 12 to go. Here's the next man then. Tuhoto-Ariki Pene from Rotorua, 23 years old, this man.
See that crown, reigning king of Crankworx.
That's right. 3rd on this track last year. Silver at the New Zealand National Championships as well. A man who just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, and he's so good at pumping. You know, we'll see him later in the week on pump track.
Winning
pump track.
Probably.
I expect him to, like that, right? Hopping in, and as soon as you can get your tires on the ground, that means you can have traction and make your turn.
And usually 1.1 up, then it's massive for Tuhoto on the top here.
Yeah,
and of course, Elliot, as you come into land and all your force is going down on those tires, you've got all the grip in the world to turn wherever you want.
You have to be really deliberate. I talk about the lines being vertical here. Where are you putting your tires on the ground? Looking really good, Tuhoto. He is such a good downhill rider. Here's that high line. Same as Luca.
And then, well, probably not quite smooth as Luca. A little stalled as he made his turn there. But still wild on the way out.
Off the brakes.
What's it going to do with the clock? And he's still up. He loses time in that sector, but still over half a second to play with.
Yeah, definitely. This is where we saw Luca really letting off the brakes, coming out of these steep sections, out of these turns. Let's see how Tuhoto, we've seen people get a little bit out of shape right here. Whoa. Nice. Unweights over all of that stuff. Not locking up the back. I love Tuhoto when he is on form because you just see him, he's so precise like that. Be able to hold insides where nobody else is.
Absolutely, and still in the green by 0.14. The margin, though, is coming down all the way down this mountain here.
Times were so tight in seeding. After a 3-minute run, you see people being separated by only 1.4 outside there. You see it just willing the bike to stay up. A little bit of a mistake there as well.
Back just washing the front, pushing a little bit as well. Yeah, absolutely. Still good pace through there, but is it going to be green or red? I don't know. It's going to be tight, I think. Inside and pre-umping out there. So here comes Tuhoto-Ariki Pene. He goes second. 1.2 into the red.
Man, you do an entire run, you feel so good, and you have maybe 5 seconds of track that costs you your entire run.
Yeah.
You saw him as he was on that off camber, just front end slipped a little bit, got a little bit lower than he normally would. Wasn't able to get that double off of the stump. Wide around the right, that yellow pad. Just so smooth up until there. A little bit wild. That's okay, that's normal. This is what I was talking about, these insides for Tuhoto. It's so nice.
Kind of pre-jumped out of the berm, yeah.
Well, what you do there is you go inside and then you can use the jump to pull back, so he actually made less of a turn than most of the other riders.
Well, the reigning Enduro World Series champion Richie Rude dropping in here 3 times now. An EWS World Champion. Actually was a junior downhill world champion as well before that, so knows his way around a downhill bike, spending more time on the downhill bike and going really fast on it, Elliot.
For sure. I mean, we've seen him at the World Cups this year, that new Yeti downhill bike looking so good.
Yeah.
Wide up there. He's skipped all those holes. There is a little bit of a hook that you can catch. Richie, one of the strongest riders that we'll see.
Just absolutely right, yep.
Just holding the bike straight.
He pedals across there and he's green by half a second. Oh my goodness!
Oh, sneezing it out, feeling good.
It, yeah. Carrying amazing pace up there.
All of these more difficult sections where I would expect Richie to make up time.
Is he a long time coming in the shot? Maybe,
Let's
maybe not
see.
the seat. Yeah.
Looks like he's still pushing. Might have just caught him a little bit early there.
Yeah, exactly, over the top of there then.
Got hung up just a little bit.
Had a 6th place here on the 11.99 last year.
Definitely a Richie Rude track. These are the kind of sections used to riding this rocky stuff on the East Coast.
And look, carrying amazing pace through there. Super smooth and super quick, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
But not on that high line in, and he goes red.
Yeah,
and he has had a problem, yep. 13 into the red now.
Good to see him, yeah. He's all good, but...
Yeah, he's all good, perhaps having an off-track excursion or something. Well, that's a shame for Richie Rude then, but keeping the intensity anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Richie just having a nice run down. He'll have a good week here at Crankworx. I saw his team manager, Damian Smith, having fun with the toboggan. Richie's the only rider that you would see having fun and sprinting. So Richie Rude coming to the bottom of the track. I know he likes this. I mean, I was teammates with Richie when I was on Yeti. Rob actually, Rob ran off on me. He's back now, actually. There he is.
What's up? Haven't been anywhere. What are you on about?
He ran off on me. I think maybe he was scared that Richie might do something incredible.
Possibly. 14 back of the last split, yeah. Well, it's just great to see him back riding some downhill again, really enjoying his riding.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I think we missed Richie for so long after he moved over to Enduro. Missed him on the downhill circuit, so like you're saying, I mean, it's just amazing to see Richie on the bike. Talk about speed suit. Dang, you see that? You see how tight his jersey was?
Lycra's allowed. All right.
Luca Shaw.
Leading run at the moment then from Luca Shaw. A 3:27.3 is the time to beat. And it was an immaculate looking run.
Yeah, just that one. A little outside there, but...
Okay, well, Brianna is with him. Let's hear from our leader.
Thanks, Rob. I am here with our current leader, Luca Shaw. Luca, that was such an aggressive run. How did you pull back time in the middle section?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely not the cleanest run. I was kind of all over the place, but I just knew I had to, keep the head down to the bottom. Super easy to make mistakes in these conditions, so, happy enough. I just kept charging to the finish line, and, pretty stoked on my run.
We saw you go up the hill and do another track walk yesterday. Did you find some new lines?
Yeah, I had no idea where I was going yesterday. I had to go look at a couple of things. So that helped me for sure, just to know what I'm riding over more than anything. And yeah, changed a couple little lines, but didn't learn too much.
Do you think you've done enough?
No, I don't think so. I made too many mistakes. I think there's for sure some time up there. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Thanks, Luca. Well done.
Thanks. And hello, Walker. I know you're watching at home. Good to see you, bro.
Hello, Walker. Good to see you. Luca Shaw, we kind of mentioned that it's so easy to make mistakes here, but like he was saying, you have to keep your head down to the finish because you never know what can happen, and that put Luca into the top spot right now.
10 riders to go, 10 very fast riders to go, some big names in there. Luca saying he doesn't think it's quite good enough. I mean, I didn't actually see any mistakes, but we are seeing riders in sectors taking time, right, Elliot?
Yeah, for sure, and those mistakes, they might not be super visible, you know, like not big mistakes, but if you grab a little bit too much brake, this track is just incredibly punishing. All of these kind of maybe steep sections to flat sections will really catch you out. So this guy.
Absolutely then, 10 riders to go. Tegan Cruz, a first-year elite now, 6th actually at last year's Junior World Championship. So some serious pace here, 18 years old, from just up the road in Pemberton, same hometown as Finn Isles. There's a big scene here nowadays, eh, Elliot?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know one of the other half of the Cruz brothers, Lucas Cruz, on that Norco team. Had a big crash earlier this year, and wish him a speedy recovery. But
certainly do, yeah.
Tegan holding it down.
Let's see what he can do then. Tegan Cruz on track. Carrying good pace across this, managing to skip across the top of those holes. And the riders know how crucial that section is to carry the speed across these flats here.
Yeah, I see Tegan kind of weaving across the track, which is nice. Maybe just a little bit
1.1 back then.
Late on some of these turns. He can definitely make that time back up in that middle section.
Oh my goodness, flying over the top of it.
Like that.
And he set up so far to right at the bottom of that ramp. He really cleaned that out. That was amazing around that left. If he can have some good pace through here, he might not be far off of that next split.
Yeah,
takes
definitely.
the low line. But quick, I would have said earlier.
Yeah, really looking good. Able to unweight over some of this stuff. That's why he's looking so much smoother than a lot of people.
What's it going to be then? 2.4. Losing more time.
Good run for Tegan, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely a solid run. I mean, like, that's kind of what I was talking about. Maybe just a little bit too far inside or a little bit too far outside on some of these turns. And when that happens, you have to touch brake. That's what Luca is talking about when he's talking about mistakes. It's these little tiny things that are adding up.
Yeah, they do, right? The stalls, the 2.4 it was then for Tegan Cruz, back into the red. Now it's 3.5 at the third split on track. Sends the tabletop, hard on the pedals on the landing of it.
Yeah, nice there, head down, cranking into this finish. As soon as you stop pedaling, you have to take these really big breaths, because this is the final part of the track that you have to be super aggressive on.
You do. If you want to win here today, you've got to be aggressive top to bottom of this thing. Still, Cruz pushing on here, 3.5 into the red, but it's been a great run from him, I would say.
Using that stump to get out wide, right near the yellow pad.
A couple of pumps along there, then last turn for Tegan Cruz. It's been a strong run. He goes into 7th place, 4.4 back in the end.
One of those runs where you're stoked that you were super aggressive. He knows probably where those 4 seconds are up on the hill. And this is what I'm talking about. Watch his legs. So he'll lift his back tire kind of over a lot of these things right there, unweighting, so he doesn't get stuck in that route like we've seen so many people. Those long legs just working right inside that rock. Downhill is just so precise, such a precise sport.
Well, if you just joined us, it's the RockShox Canadian Open Downhill Crankworx Whistler. 9 riders left to go. Can anyone take down Luca Shaw in that 3:27? From Port Moody here in Canada, Kirk McDowall, 33 years old, riding for Norco, the next to drop in.
And not only does he ride for Norco, but he's an engineer, so he has this incredible kind of role there where he races World Cups, and he's also an engineer on the bikes, making sure that they have kind of the best bikes that they can, that they perform at a World Cup level.
Like a development rider racer.
Totally.
Almost. Yeah, amazing.
And that mistake that we just saw Kirk make is exactly what Aaron was talking about. There's a super deep hole there, and there's a ton of roots, so if you get your back end out there, the roots will just take it, rob all your speed.
Gaps across there, pushes down hard. First split coming up then for Kirk McDowall, and it is red by nearly half a second.
Riding so good. After that mistake, we saw him kind of getting outside the hole, so I'm expecting him to have a really good run from here on down.
10th here last year. so committed across there. Honestly, that landing, it's nearly a vertical rock face.
Yeah,
it's
for
insane.
Sure. Anytime it gets really technical, Kirk is one of the best riders.
It's getting really technical.
Multiple-time Canadian national champ through there. It's really fast out.
Oh, fast down there as well. 12th at Mont Saint Anne, his best World Cup finish back in 2007. 1.2, so definitely keeping everyone honest, Ellie. Hasn't dropped much time at all between splits 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely. I know Kirk really likes this track. Rides in Whistler a lot as a placer. He's been just really kind of right on the bubble this year. I mean, he's such a good rider. That Norco team, Greg Minard getting that second place just a couple weeks ago in Leger.
But losing a bit more time now. Losing time all the way down the track. Slightly off the pace of Shaw.
Let's see how this tuck goes for him.
Yeah. I don't think they work that well uphill usually. That's my opinion.
It is. You never really know. You can convince yourself that it does, though. You can
also,
definitely convince yourself.
It might be a well-spent rest if it means you're full strong for this very testing, difficult last little sting in the tail through this last tree. He goes to the left of that yellow pad. As Elliot says, it requires a little bit more of a setup, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, but you do get such a nice entry into that really kind of janky turn.
Across the line for Kirk McDowall. He goes into 7th.
Yeah, almost the same time as he did yesterday.
Luca Shaw leads.
Let's see what he was doing here. A little bit messy in that turn, but gets this hop right there that we see. Really nice pumping through there. Not having, and then he was outside of these holes. I love that line.
Cool. There's lines, there's opportunities pretty much everywhere down this track to make a bit of time. Great to see Gracie Hemstreet there, spectating a day as well, but it's Luca Shaw leading at the moment. 8 to go. Jon Modell from North Vancouver here in BC, just 18 years old, another man with an incredible qualifier. These youngsters really throwing everything at it, and they might as well, Elliot, today, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, teammates with Mark Wallace.
Yeah.
Just got a podium in the junior category in Leger just a couple of weeks ago.
Scrubbed beautifully off that rock. Some style there as well.
Yeah, spent a time in Pella riding with, you know, Luca Shaw, Troy Brosnan, Luca's teammate. Inside.
Yeah, he got well inside on that berm. Looked like he carried good pace through it. Gets that little double there, slide on the landing. I mean, that takes some pace.
And that was only, he's just a little bit 6 inches too far, and that's what happens.
Yeah, the second into the red is the result of it as well.
Suspension compresses, you lose traction. Even in these, what you would think would maybe be the easier sections, shows you where the mistakes can add up and the time can go away.
Pretty seamlessly through that left though, no stalls in there.
See what he does through this rock section.
Yep. Favouring that lower line, most riders taking it today.
That was incredible.
Fast, yeah. Right on line, wasn't he?
Yeah,
the
definitely.
exit to that rock section's naughty too.
It is, and you really have to keep pushing.
1.8, so a little bit more time slips from Luca Shaw.
That's what we were talking about. I mean, the times are just so tight. Everyone riding these different lines, you know, riding different sections really nicely, mistakes in different parts, but then the times just end up being so tight. Good speed through there. There's an inside and outside. He took the outside, gets him set up a little bit better.
Runs the top of that berm there as well. Gives him a little bit of pace over the top of that tabletop. Onto the pedals, 2.7.
You can see his hands just moving, so he's just grabbing gears right after that tabletop.
Might be flexing his fingers as well for what's about to come. This last really steep section then.
Mentally
out into the
prepare.
open. Really difficult to, it's so steep down in that little catch berm there.
Let's see what line he takes.
Was clean
through
through there though,
looks
Modell.
good, yeah.
Super nice. Doesn't bother getting to the left of that tree.
Still good. You can see he's like flowing nicely through there.
Yeah, it's been a super nice run. Really clean from Jon Modell. He can be proud of his weekend here in Whistler. Crosses the line, goes into 6th place, 3 into the red. Good run.
Yeah, good run for him.
7 riders left, excuse me. Ronan Dunne next, Dane Jewett, last year's junior winner. Danny Hart, 2 times a world champion. Ryan Griffiths, Kye A'Hern, Dakotah Norton. And then last to drop will be Jakob Jewett, last year's winner.
And so Jon's gonna try to hop off of here. Lands a little bit further left, gets into that soft stuff. That's when the track goes away, so that line would have been all good. Maybe, you know, Friday practice, but at this point, there's no more traction there.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I know what this man's approach will be.
And not try to think too much. It might work, and you might end up on your ass. So it's a 50-50, but it's pretty sick.
Well, it's going to be sick. It's going to be exciting. Stow away your tray tables and put your seat backs to upright. Ronan Dunne on track then. This Irishman who has brought this year to absolutely to life. 2 Red Bull Hardline wins. The win of Poland, the World Cup race there as well. A factory team for him, and he is not looking back.
Yeah, he has just been on fire here.
And he's lost time there for sure. On the brakes, running wide. He'll be annoyed with that.
Yeah,
and
it's
now
right at the top of the track.
Just get loose.
Yeah, he has to get back into the mode like we were talking about.
But a pretty big mistake up there. Any nerves he had will be gone now, and Dunne can just launch down here, and he's up by 2.22. How's that even possible? Look how far he went on that triple.
And sometimes you need something like that to kick you into gear to say, okay, whatever I was going to do, I have to kick it up at least 2 levels.
Oh! Dunne goes down! Oh!
Oh, it's so soft up there.
And Ronan Dunne is down. Medical teams will be right there with him. We got the best medical staff here on the mountain. What a shame to see the Irishman go down like that.
Oh, no.
Over the bars, out of that turn, it looked like.
And
just tucked the front.
Exactly. I mean, that's that part that he crashed in. You don't really expect that because you might expect to maybe knife coming in or be a little bit late, but he was already looking through the turn, front end just pushed.
Well, thankfully, he is up. It was quite a nasty-looking crash.
Yeah, it's good to see him back up and going.
Winded,
yeah, for sure.
Bruised, but nice to see Ronan make his way down under his own power. Well, a few weeks now before the World Championships to really recover. Oh, he's all right. He's all right, everybody. The horse whisperer from Ireland, a little bit of a thoroughbred himself, I would say, right? I thought he was going to sling the helmet into the crowd. You only just got that, Ronan. Look at him. Look at the ledge. Oh, my goodness me.
Oh, man, that section is it's reminiscent of... Oh!
Sips a bit.
Yeah.
Sips a bit. Does the gnarliest line on the mountain. Come on, Ronan.
That was the section that we saw Jakob Jewett unlock. I mean, that section kind of reminds us of that Heckler's Rock on the old Canadian Open course. So here's what happens. He'll be looking outside, but just doesn't expect, like, almost knows manuals around that. He just wasn't expecting that at all.
No.
And you have to be leaning forward there to get your front end planted.
Yeah. Yeah, just one of those. I mean, when you ride a bike as hard as these guys do, you're right on the edge, and anything kind of can snag you, can take you out.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything is on the absolute limit.
He's having fun. He'll have a good time. The rest of Whistler, I mean, that's
good to
kind
see him not injured. We're going to see his teammate coming up in a little bit as well, Dakotah Norton. I mean, that's going to be a big run.
For sure. I mean, Ronan, he hasn't spent a whole lot of time in Whistler, so he'll be enjoying that, not only that he's not hurt, but that he can just enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Get some A-line runs in, get some crab apple runs in.
Well, Ronan Dunne's still on track. But that man there, he had the fastest time of the weekend last year. Dane Jewett from Squamish, just down the road, 18 years old now.
Yeah, I mean, he said this is the roughest track he's ever ridden. I think he's feeling a little bit of pressure to back up what he did last year, but that's going to help him. Hopping out. One of the more aggressive riders that you'll see, just, you know, low on the bike, kind of rides inside the bike, hops around so much.
That's right, 3 World Cup wins in the junior category, 3 podiums, excuse me, in the Junior World Cup this year. And we know how fast those young men are going, Elliot. Not far off the pro men.
No, not at all. I mean,
and riding with some energy and intensity up this top section then.
Like you said, let's see what he can do with this split. Only 0.26 back, so there's plenty of time to be made up. We know that Luca Shaw made a couple of mistakes.
His brother is going to be, Jakob is going to be watching this with real interest. Gaps into there, lands a long way down it. There's some big holes in that turn now. You can see them, actually, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron's saying that those roots weren't even there. So Dane adjusting inside. See what he does to the rock garden.
So in touch at split 1. He needs to nail this section if he's going to find that time back. Perhaps a little bit unclean on that right-hander there.
Yeah, just getting bounced around kind of from the top to the bottom of that.
Next split, and 2.4 back now then for Dane Jewett.
This is a track where there is this skill that you have to ride it super aggressively, but also like Luca did, be smooth. Really comes down to the braking, choosing your points, choosing where you want your wheels to be on the ground.
Oh, nice along that straight, actually up to the Red Bull drop. Really nice as well.
Yeah, Dane really wanting to back that last result. That last result's out. 3 back now.
Yeah, 3 back then. He won't be turning that around. Big pressure on his shoulders after what he did here last year. Massive expectations. Probably put on more by himself, Elliot.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, this is the home race for him. Him and Jakob, they put so much into it, riding, filming. Talking to Miranda, and she was saying that they just, when they were growing up, they just rode so much more than so many people. Didn't kind of go into one coaching organization or ride with one crew, and I think you see that with the skill of both of these Jewett brothers.
Yeah, both amazing. So Jewett won, not able to deliver the win. It's all down to Jakob now.
We have another Jewett.
We do, there's another Jewett who won here last year, the pro class. 9th for Dane, 4 back then for him.
Yeah, and that was actually, again, around the same time that he did yesterday. Luca taking a ton of time off of his seeding run. And the reason you see that is just because the track has gotten so much more rough. Like I was saying, watch Luca's run compared to Dane's, and you'll just see how much smoother he was. Really choosing his points. It's one of the things that Luca is best at. And it goes to show how good Luca is riding this year, that he knows that there was time up there, but he's still, guaranteed a top 10 at this point.
Okay, well, let's find out what's happening with the track. Bree is with Bernard Kerr.
Thanks, Rob. I've got Bernard here with me. Bernard, such tough conditions. What's it like up there?
Yeah, it's so hard. We've had no rain and it's just getting so dusty and so loose. You see Dane there riding so well, but as you push into the turns, your wheels are just sliding. There's so many loose rocks now and the dust is just so deep out there.
You've raced World Cups, you've raced Hardline. How does this track compare?
It's honestly one of the hardest tracks I've ever raced. It has everything and straight out of the gate. You got no warm-up. You literally do half a crank and you're straight in. So it's a world-class track and it's challenging out there for everyone.
Thanks, Bernard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. Yeah, so there's your leaderboard at the moment. 1.2 seconds between Luca Shaw and Tuhoto-Ariki Pene.
And you heard Bernard talking about it, and we've seen that. We've seen, these riders like slapping turns and things like that. But Luca, Tuhoto, and Bodhi, they were all so smooth, right? Like you have to understand that the track has gone away and you can't override it.
No, so easy. If you're offline, you're probably going to end up in a bit of bother today pretty quickly in this deep dust that surrounds the racing line. Dane Jewett, just saw him come down. He went into 9th place, just ahead of Tegan Cruz, Mark Wallace.
And I mean, again, Bode Burke, 3rd place right now, guaranteed. Top 10.
Incredible for him.
I mean, that's so cool. That's great.
And only now 5 riders left to drop here at the Canadian Open Downhill, the RockShox Canadian Open Downhill. If you just joined us, it's Crankworx Whistler Week. We're kicking things off in fine style, I like to think, this afternoon, yeah. An amazing race, and we're at the sharp end of it now. Okay, and we've got
yeah, Bree's over there with Bode Burke.
Thanks. I'm here with Bodhi, just 16 years of age. Bodhi, what a run. How was it from your perspective?
It was good. A little loose, but pushed through the mistakes, and it was good. Yeah, stoked.
You're sitting next to some pretty big names on that podium. How nervous were you watching them come down?
I'm more nervous than racing, actually. So, anyway.
What do you think it's going to take to win on this track?
Just like stay smooth. It's so hard to make mistakes, and yeah, I think that's the key. So.
Bodhi, well done. Great run.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Big day for that youngster.
And this is him right here. I mean,
amazing.
16 years old.
And that's why one of the major strengths of the Crankworx, you know, it gives a platform for riders like him to go up against the world's best, these pros that race the World Cup all over the place, and to show them exactly what you can do.
That's right. I mean, and you have the teams here. I mean, the SRAM is here, the Canyon team is here. All of these team managers will see Bodhi.
And if you can do it on the 1199,
you can do it anywhere.
That's right.
I mean, Bernard just said that this is a world-class track. It's got everything.
And it's intense from the very second you leave the top of Creekside, the Creekside gondola there. Great to see so many people here. An amazing afternoon, and it's not over yet. Luca Shaw leads, looking on nervously, actually. He might do. It's a two-time world champion. Let's go. Oh,
yeah, I saw Tuhoto. Him and Tuhoto, I think, are going to show up to the Longhorn right after this. So
am I.
I need him to. We're supposed to do some A-line laps, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Wow, you got more energy than me.
You can't help it. It's Whistler.
That's right. And on Sunday, of course, this whole week culminates in the pinnacle Red Bull Joyride, the biggest slopestyle event of the year. It's absolute. Do you know what? The first time I came here and I watched Joyride, as I walked through the village and just saw the slopestyle track in front of me with, it looked like about
tens of thousands of people.
500,000 people. It was like, I was like, slopestyle was actually pretty cool. I'd not really seen one until that, you know? It was just unbelievable. In the way
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, every single person, if you're either here, make sure you're there, and if you're not, then make sure you watch it, 4 p.m.
Can David Godziak deliver the Triple Crown?
I was watching his run. I mean, both of them.
Can you even work out what's going on?
No, I can't, but I'm glad Cam and Alan are there to kind of walk me through what is opposite, what is a tail whip to late bar spin.
It's bonkers, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's intricate.
Yeah, it is.
It's what those guys do is just.
It is. It's so precise. I mean, I think so many people think that it is just.
I nearly collapsed actually in Cairns last year when I walked up the slopestyle track, and they had like one of those platforms, you know, where they're supposed to jump on land and then like jump off the other end of it. Forget it. I was just stood there, some bloke just double backflips over the entire thing. I fell over. And there's what's going on this week. So you can watch we're watching the Canadian Open now. Thursday, things get going again with a dual slalom. Also the pump track. Friday, it's the outdoor research, speed and style. And then as we just said, Saturday, the big one, the big climax to the week here at Crankworx Whistler. Joyride. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I just got word, I guess, the start. Got a delay on the start. Had a flat tire. Just trying to get them off the track safely.
Yep.
So
all good.
This.
I think it's rude to keep the red car rocket waiting this long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I did get to talk to him right before this, and I was like, Danny, when's the last time that you were at Crankworx? He said, well, it was when I was on the Giant.
Yeah.
And that was that was 2015,
Yeah,
I
that's
think?
what I was going to say, probably 10 years ago.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So it is.
But the next man we're going to see this year, really late to get on a team, struggling a bit last winter, signed up with GT.
Yeah, I think that's
been having a great World Cup season, hanging around the top tens, and here he is then. The two-time world champion, 2011 in Chambéry. This man won by nearly 12 seconds. He backed it up again in Val di Sole in 2016. One of the fastest riders ever. The only one of two men to win basically 3 World Cups and then a World Championship in a row. Let's go.
Yeah, he was saying that the track's just unreal. It's super rough right now, but Danny, these are the tracks that Danny thrives
I
at.
absolutely agree. The more technical, the nastier it is, the steeper it is, it can bring this man to life.
That world championship at Val di Sole.
Smooth over there. And into that turn, super tiptoeing through
That's
it.
perfect. You don't want to see roost in these turns. That means that you have traction.
And let's see what this split's going to tell us then, because it's looked absolutely immaculate up top, and he's out by nearly a 10th. Incredible stuff then from Danny Hart. Oh.
Getting a little bit late on his pump over the roller, caused him to case that uphill triple. Section that we just went through. One of the key sections he was talking about. Hops off.
Oh, up on there nicely.
Has to take a little bit of a crank.
32 years old now, been at the top so long, 11th in Val di Sole, 12th, excuse me, in Val di Sole this year, 11th in Leogang. And what's it going to be, the gap? He didn't go for the gap up on that rock this time.
A little bit wild through there, just bucking around.
As he kept that tiny advantage at split number 2, he's back, but only by 0.3, so Danny Hart very much in touch here.
And we know Luca had a strong bottom.
Yep, but he's been training harder than ever, Danny Hart. Onto the outdoor research, free wheel fall away. Whistling through there, 0.3 back for Danny Hart. What can he do?
So I'm watching this section in practice, goes inside there, let off the brakes. He's gonna try to hop this gap.
First World Cup back in 2008, excuse me, yeah, 2008, 16 years this man has been racing at World Cups.
He's been at the top.
And he's 0.85 back now then, so nearly a second into the red for Danny.
A little bit of a breather, like you said. It's a bit strategic, like you said, so taking a rest so that you can have the energy for this last section. There is so much time in this last right-hander.
There is, if you're prepared to risk it. Hart looking neat and tidy in there. Back into the trees he comes now. Threads the needle between the stump and the yellow pad. He's looking good in here. That was neat and clean through there. Did he jump out? Yeah.
Left.
Let's see what he's done then. We saw it last year, Jakob Jewett pulling 2 seconds, pre-jumps out of that last turn, sprints to the line, and Danny Hart goes in a 3rd place, 1.4 off.
Finally,
he looked good to me in the bottom.
For sure.
I kind of thought he might be there, you know.
Yeah, just that last drop out of the woods finally unseats Bode Burke.
Yep. Yeah.
Great run for Danny, though.
It was a good run, yeah. Looking more and more like his old self.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think, you know, new bike, new team. Takes a while to get set up.
It does.
Find your way.
This is one of those sections. You can see how soft it is why Ronan crashed. So Danny getting a little bit right off of there, kind of going into the roughest part, dropping into that route that we see, having to tuck an elbow to get around that red pad. The awareness on these downhill riders. Front wheel just sliding on that. It just shows you how comfortable you have to be, that you're never going to be perfect on a track like this.
No, that's right. And you got to know that at the top, right?
Yeah.
You got to know that this isn't going to be as clean as you're going to want it.
Yeah.
I mean, Dakotah talking a little bit about that last night to us, saying just, you know, most of the World Cup tracks are pretty hard packed. This is a very different proposition. Ryan Griffiths, Garibaldi Highlands, here in Canada, 18 years old, another youngster with a phenomenal seeding run. What can he do in this finals run?
Oh,
did the front push there?
He's coming out hot.
Yeah. He really is.
They call him Thomas, tallest guy in the race right here. Makes that downhill bike almost look like a toy, these long legs.
Look at the legs on him, yeah, absolutely. But phenomenal. Great to see him making a name for himself. He's going to want to do what he can in this finals run, Elliot.
So far, so good.
Looking good through there, yeah. Different rhythm through there, perhaps.
Yeah, sets up a little bit outside. Inside there, let's see if he can hold this, see what it does to his time.
Back point 0.18, so definitely in touch then. Less than 2/10 off.
Pops over that nicely.
He did. Cleanly up onto the top of that triple there.
Gets that inside right before he came into vision.
Full now.
I really like that inside. You can see how much harder the ground is.
Yeah.
And they're not getting stuck there. So a really nice line by Ryan.
Into the rock section then. Luca Shaw still looking pretty relaxed at the bottom.
Nice
that was fast
Just using the legs, using the legs.
Double the suspension of everyone else here today. 2.5 now, though, for Griffith. Still very respectable.
Definitely.
Luca Shaw, one of the best World Cup downhillers on the planet. This man's being compared to right now.
Yeah, and this is a smooth run. I mean, I feel like he probably is riding about like he did in seeding, but the track has kind of gone away from him a little bit.
Yeah. Thick with dust.
Yeah, we heard Bernard talk about it. I mean,
plenty of rocks underneath it as well. Yeah, difficult inside there for him.
And I think one of the things that we see with these experienced riders like Danny Hart, like Luca Shaw, is you have to be able to read a track on the fly. And that just means looking up, seeing that the hole is bigger than the last time you rode it, or seeing that oh!
Wow.
That was, it seemed like it came out of nowhere.
Yep.
He seemed like he was.
Big holes everywhere. Nina Hoffman saying sort of similar things. Took her out yesterday, so.
Luckily, he got on that pad, so hopefully he's all good.
He is all good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness me. Wow.
That was
a massive accident.
Nightmare.
Yeah, I was petrified of what might have happened to him.
It was literally, I didn't see that coming.
No, I don't think anyone did. Definitely not Ryan Griffiths.
Oh my goodness.
Thankfully he's okay though. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I might get to see it again in a minute.
Definitely. I think everyone needs a replay to see exactly what went wrong there.
Bang! Out the front door. Well, great to see him cross the line.
Yeah. I think he'll be, of course, disappointed with the run, but he can take a lot of confidence away from that seeding result.
Yeah, what a weekend for him. Let's have a look then, Elliot. See what you.
All good.
Yep.
He hit a tar on the tree.
He hit the tree.
Tar on the tree.
You can see it snatch the bar from him.
My.
That is
What?
Nasty. That's insane.
That is.
And thank goodness me he got up from that. Big one.
I mean, it also goes to show how where the strategic placement of the pads, really nice that was there. Holy cow. Let's see if he does it. Come on, Ryan, come on.
Peer group pressure's got to him.
There we go. I can tell you, yeah, I was coming down, everything was fine, and then I just jumped and I hit my bars in the tree and had a huge crash.
At about 40 miles an hour. 3 to go here then at the RockShox Canadian Open. Crankworx Whistler, Kye A'Hern. The next man, 23 years old, a former junior world downhill champion. Going to be plenty of pace here, Elliot.
Yeah, he's been riding so good this year. He's only 23. He feels like he's been around for a long time, but...
Oh! Oh my God! Oh! Oh!
Wow.
Big crash for Kye A'Hern.
Like,
we've got the best medical teams here. They'll be straight to him.
That, I mean, like Bernard said, straight out of the gate. Yeah. Sometimes you, just you have to be concentrating the whole time. I don't think that anyone would expect that. We're going to go to.
Well, let's hope Kye's okay. We'll report on him shortly. Breeze with Danny Hart.
Thanks, Rob. Danny's tough conditions. We've seen a couple of riders go down. Are you having to read the conditions on the fly up there?
Yeah, the track conditions are brutal. You know, it's the track's been in brilliant condition all week, and then this morning it was quite eye-opening how battered it was. So, yeah, there was an interesting run. I had a bit of an issue at the top. I had a front flat tyre before I got in the start, so I had to borrow a young lad's wheel out of the bike park, and the tyre that I put on, it doesn't run the same PSI as the tyre that I've come off, so he might need a new front wheel after that.
That's unbelievable. Thanks to the young lad up there. This is your first time on this course. How are the nerves going in?
Yeah, to be honest, when I walked it, I was like, well, this is eye-opening, you know. We don't get features like this very often, and the trail crew have done a fantastic job. It's brutal right now. It's similar to a World Cup, if not as gnarlier, you know, and they were looking after the track really good. Like, I thought all the berms were going to go away, but honestly, the berms have stayed really good, but all the sections in between the berms, not so much.
Still a couple of riders left to drop. Who's your money on?
I'd like to think Luca stays in first, Tuhoto in second, and I'll take third. But no, Dag's been flying. Obviously, Jakob, he is at home on this hill. You can see he had good speed last year, good speed this year. And yeah, I'd just like to thank GT, 510, Adidas. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. You know, I'm on a tight budget this year, and Adidas pulled out all the stops, 510, and they paid for me to be here, and it's brilliant. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Danny. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, here's your current leader. We've got a course hold at the moment. Pretty obvious why. Luca Shaw leading with an amazing run.
Yeah, yeah. I love Danny. I love how Danny...
Can you imagine what we thought it was good, but to put someone else's front wheel in at the top?
Wait, I totally forgot.
That's insane.
Who does that?
Who does that and rides like that?
No.
Amazing.
I mean, because you would be like, oh, well, like, what's the difference? Well, the spoke tension, these riders, every spoke is tuned.
Yeah.
Like you said, the PSI.
That's right, yeah. Tyre?
The tyre?
Yeah. Just the small details. I mean, he might have been lucky and it had been the same brand and tyre.
Yeah. I wonder what he said to somebody. Hey, can I borrow your tyre? Can I borrow your wheel?
I'll tell you what, though. One of the greats. Like I said to you, didn't I? Crankworx is a platform for the great. Most riders that sort of come here go on to massive things.
Yeah.
I don't know about this guy though. What did this guy carry on and do? Let's have a look. Where did he end up going after being a Crankworx star in his early career? It's gonna come, don't worry.
I'm waiting, Rob.
I'm waiting too. I'm waiting
Hype
too.
it up more.
We're both waiting.
I don't think you know what you're talking. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man,
it's all good.
It is.
It's going to be worth the wait.
Well,
it's going to be worth the wait. You're not. This is going to blow your mind.
Is it me?
Yeah.
No way. Is it? No way.
Yeah.
No way.
2018, Elliot Jackson. I told you it's worth waiting for. They're right now going through like paperwork, trying to get clearance.
Pulling through the archives.
That's right.
Let's see. Yeah, I had some.
It's a bit further down than they'd liked.
Yeah, but I bet the result was good. Do you know
where you came?
Where's my resume? What was it? Got a podium, third place, second place.
Did you?
Yes. Come on, isn't it?
Oh, doesn't look like they can find the archive.
Okay, here we go.
It's so old,
No,
it's actually gone. Well, let's have a look at a second place run from today, then that of Tuhoto-Ariki Pene, and another incredible run.
I think you can't see it. I'm glad you can't see it, but Rob just ran away. I think he was ashamed, but we'll watch Tuhoto's run. Like I was saying, Tuhoto just so smooth. I think the top three, even though Danny didn't even have his same wheel on, he again was really smooth. I think these top three riders just showed us how to ride this track. Coming in, that inside. I think that's kind of the line that I would choose. We have Bree actually with Tuhoto.
Thanks, Elliot. Tuhoto currently in second place. How happy are you with your run?
Oh, pretty happy, yeah.
It is such a relentless track. How exhausting is it up there?
Oh, it's crazy. You come down, your hands are sore, legs are sore, everything. You can hardly breathe, but nah, it's all good. I like those kind of tracks. It's challenging and it's fun. Yeah.
Where do you think the winner is going to make the most time today?
I don't know if they're smooth, but if they can put some watts down on that pedal, that can help. Yeah, I don't know.
And a big week ahead for you. You're the reigning king of Crankworx. What's in store for the rest of the week?
What was that?
What's in store for you for the rest of the week?
Oh, I got everything, eh? This is just the first event. Still got like 5 to go, so it's going to be a big week, but I'm ready. Yeah, it's all...
Thanks, Tuhoto. Well done. Best of luck.
Thank you.
The man. That guy is the man.
He's great. He's going to enjoy his week here, isn't he? That's for sure.
Like you said, it's just getting started. I think last year it came down to the final event of the entire year, you know, between him and Bas van Steenbergen for that Crankworx King of Crankworx title.
And we're on a course hold. Kye A'Hern leaving the track at the top of the track. We'll give you, leaving the course at the top, we'll give you any updates on his condition as soon as we get them. Rest assured, he's with the very best medical teams. He's being well looked after. And of course, we will update you as we get any information.
Rob, I was telling everyone that after you said that, you ran off.
What's happened?
Yeah, you ran off. I mean, you're back now. It's all good. I just saw you ran off. You had your head in your hands, you know, and then you came back. Just needed a little bit of a moment. So, no, that's all good. Happy to
Let's have a look at the top 3 then. As we stand at the moment, we just saw Danny Hart come down with a borrowed front wheel because he had a flat at the top, and an incredible run it was too.
Yeah, like I said, that section has kind of been one of the keys. We saw Ronan go down there, and that outside is getting really soft. I mean, everyone is talking about how blown out this track has been. Not much rain on the track, and that just, downhill bikes just eat it away. It's crazy how much different a track can be just after you have hundreds and hundreds of bikes on it.
Well, listen to Danny talk about it, He said it's, you know, Burner 10, it's difficult out of the gate. I mean, this is a track built in memory of the
It's so appropriate,
gnarliest.
right? It feels so appropriate.
That's right.
I feel like Stevie's just smiling, being like, I love that.
Thank you.
You know, that Danny and Bernard are like, yeah, it's the hardest track I've ever ridden, you know? Yeah, it is. It's super special.
It's amazing,
Rob? We've got somebody else down there, right?
Okay, let's go over to Bree.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Jackson Goldston. He injured himself at Hardline in Tassie earlier in the year. Jackson, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, healing up from the knee injury, but it's getting better every day.
How hard is it to be here on the sidelines? I know you're such a competitor. Do you wish you were up there?
Yeah, I'm really gutted to not be racing this. I missed it last year due to another surgery. So, yeah, hoping next year I'll be finally able to race this track. It looks so fun.
What's coming up next for you?
Yeah, nothing much. I'm just still in rehab mode, recovering from the surgery like 4 months ago. So I think I've got another 2 months to go, and then I'll be back on the bike and riding again. So yeah, it just takes a lot of time.
You've got so many fans. What would you like to say to them, and when can they expect to see you back racing?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to the fans for sure. You know, haven't been doing anything, and I'm still, everyone's loving it. So yeah, big thanks to you guys, and yeah, probably going to be another 2 months, hoping for somewhere around October to be back on the bike.
Thanks, Jackson. Looking forward to seeing you back racing.
Cheers.
Well, we're all definitely looking forward to seeing Jackson back racing.
Yeah.
Last year, he was the only rider actually to win 2 World Cup races in his first year in Elite. But don't forget, he talked about it then, had to have a surgery last year on his appendix.
That's right. Yeah,
so we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen a fully strong, nowhere near, and look what he does.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see a fit Jackson Goldstone line up for a full season.
It wasn't just 2 World Cup wins, it was 2 dominant World Cup wins, right? Like in Val di Sole and then again.
And Red Bull Hardline.
That's right. That's right. I mean, he is the real deal. I think that, him, the new crop of riders, him, Ronan Dunne, all of these young riders are just showing us how it's done.
They are indeed. Let's go back to Bree.
Thanks, Rob. I'm here with Ronan Dunne. Ronan, we saw you take that crash. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, a little bit annoyed to have a crash, but yeah, the run felt pretty good. I think I was up on one of the splits, but yeah, we're swinging off it. I like to say either we're going to crash or win, and yeah, I crashed. But yeah, the crowd is super sick, and yeah, we even got a drink halfway through, which is pretty nice. But yeah, the crowd were on one. They were definitely cheering me on a bit too hard. So, but yeah, the loam here tastes pretty good, and but we're all good. So yeah, stoked.
You still got a smile on your face. Physically, are you all good?
Yeah, ribs are pretty sore, so is the shoulder, but yeah, we'll be grand. Next race isn't for 2 weeks, so we'll survive.
You've had such an amazing World Cup season. You've had 2 Red Bull Hardline wins. What does this track look like compared to anything else you've been racing?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a mix between a World Cup and Hardline. There's some super big features up here, but yeah, so blown out like a World Cup and so gnarly to go quick on it. But yeah, I've been really enjoying this track and looking forward to coming back next year.
Everyone's commenting on how blown out it is up there. How do you find traction on a course like this?
You don't. You kind of just swing off and hope you don't end on the ground or the bushes. But yeah, it's super, pretty loose up there for sure.
Thanks, Ronan. Well done. I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Yep. A good season for Ronan Dunne, and yeah, just great to see him get up from that. Another big crash we saw today.
Yeah, I love Ronan's strategic thinking, you know? You just swing off and you either win or end up in the bushes.
He said it before.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a man who lives by what he says. No arguing with that. But he's had an incredible season.
He has. Well, I think we joke about it, but when I watch Ronan ride, he doesn't look like that. I mean, especially this year, I think he's kind of come into his own. He's got a lot more experience. You know, when he won that World Cup in Poland, he wasn't more wild than everyone else.
Yeah. So we're still on this course hold for Kye A'Hern. As I said, we'll update you with his condition as soon as we know it. This is last year's winning run from Jakob Jewett, and it was absolutely amazing. Yeah, I was about to say,
speaking of wild runs, I think. Again, but he has this like amazing style, like so much strength. Here's that line, that incredible hop, putting the bike where he needs it. It was super blown out last year as well, so he's definitely going to be used to the conditions today.
Oh. And that's that wider line I was talking about. Right. Really committing off that last rock into that drop. Yeah. But that is it. Last year's winning run from Jakob Jewett. It was, as we said, his younger brother Dane. Oh, look at the reaction. Look at that. That's why we love downhill racing. But Dane Jewett, he's been down already. Had the fastest time of the day. At the moment, it's Luca Shaw leading with that 3:27.3. From Tuhoto-Ariki Pene, Danny Hart in third. Okay, well, stay with us. We'll be back after this commercial break.
I'm Matt Jones, I'm a professional freestyle mountain bike rider, and I'm attempting 3 world's first tricks that have never been done on a mountain bike. And I'm tackling this project with my twin brother Jono. It's going to be a journey. No points at all for that. Are you going to hit me if I stand here? No.
Matt Jones. Design and Conquer. Now available on Red Bull TV.
What a lovely little island we live on. The scenery, the greenery, some of the best trails, outstanding craftsmanship. 4 seasons in a day. It's easy to overlook our beautiful little island, and there's nowhere I'd rather be. Glorious! Shires, now available on Red Bull TV.
A new perspective on the streets of San Francisco.
Daddy!
Join Danny McCaskill on his very special sightseeing tour. Imagination running wild and taking no prisoners.
Welcome to The Rock.
Because making it look easy can be pretty hard. Will he send it? Danny McCaskill, Postcard from San Francisco. Now available on Red Bull TV.
The travel series showcasing faces and places of unique surfing communities.
They've all got really big hearts and a lot of passion.
There's a lot of stories that we share.
Really good food, amazing weather, cool people.
All around the globe.
Do you want more?
No Contest Season 8. Now available on Red Bull TV.
Riding a bike down the tightest streets and steepest staircases? Sounds like a plan. The ultimate urban downhill race series goes global this year. 3 continents, but only one direction.
Look at that.
Downwards. Red Bull Cerro Abajo Series 2024. Live on Red Bull TV.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Crankworx Whistler, the Canadian Open, the RockShox Canadian Open downhill. We're on a course hold, Kye A'Hern having a big crash further up the mountain. He's in great medical, he's in the best medical care, and we will update you on his condition when we can. Let's go over to Bree.
Thanks, Rob. I'm here with Kye's best mate, Jackson Frew. Jackson, you've just had an update about Kye.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. Sounds like he's definitely coming off with the medics, but yeah, we're just grateful that they're up there with him, and we know he's got the best support, and hopefully we'll be back pretty soon.
And you guys actually grew up racing in Canberra. What was that like?
Yeah, I was actually at his first downhill race, and the day he did his first downhill race, I hurt myself, so it's kind of ironic now, but yeah, it's been pretty cool having someone on the same level to kind of push each other and train with and stuff, so it's really cool, and yeah, hopefully it's not too bad.
Accidents are part of this sport. How is it to watch your mates go down?
It's pretty tough, but as you said, it is part of this sport, and you know, I got in the gate willing to have the same thing happen, and unfortunately it was him this time, but yeah, hopefully he's going to be all good and we can move on.
You're currently sitting in 5th. How physically demanding is this course?
It's quite funny. I was joking with Tegan who came down before, and it's like the top half of the track where you've got a bit of rest and stuff like that, and your hands aren't too bad. Then you get into the bottom bit when you're really feeling it, and you're sort of 2 minutes in, and there's no breaks at all. So it's kind of pretty mean of the course builders to build it that way, but it's good fun. It's really physical.
You weren't so happy with your time yesterday. What did you do differently today?
Yeah, wasn't really happy with where I put myself, but just had to switch off last night and really reset, and then come in today and came in with a good plan, executed my plan in practice, and then yeah, just had to commit to my race run. Would have liked a little more time. I think just a couple more tenths here or there would have been nice, but really happy with where we're sitting.
You're also sitting 3rd overall in the Crankworx King standings. What a week you have ahead. How are the nerves?
No nerves, more just looking forward, looking at it and looking at the schedule and just trying to work out what I got myself into. But it's going to be a big week, and unfortunately dropped a couple points to Tuhoto today. I was really hoping to kind of bridge that gap a bit, but yeah, rest of the week's going to be big and pretty keen for the challenge.
Good luck for the rest of the week. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
So the course hold continuing for Kye A'Hern at the moment. Great to hear from Jackson Frew there, but yeah. And actually, we've actually delved into the archives. We've had the supercomputer has been running all, yeah. And let's have a look at this. Elliot Jackson in 2018. A look back, it certainly will be. Was this one of your first crack? Oh my goodness me!
What is this?
That's you.
Where is this at?
Whistler.
Oh, this is Whistler.
You on a giant back in 2018. I mean, look how small the bike looks even back then, just 6 years ago.
Well, that was like the 27.5s. We were, oh yeah, I look good. Oh, I look good.
He's not scared of calling himself out, is he?
Oh my God. I think I got a top 10 that year. It was all good.
Well, are there any other results at Crankworx?
Like I said, I podiumed a couple times. I guess you stopped riding before Crankworx even existed, right?
Yeah, I think it's probably about 2 decades before it even existed.
Cow.
Possibly.
Good grief.
Anyway, let's move on.
There's this thing called, Crankworx. We have downhill races here. We have slope style here. We ride bikes here, Rob. So I know. I'm sorry that you, retired before you got a chance to compete.
This is only my 3rd time ever in Whistler. This is only my 3rd time in Whistler, ever.
What do you think of it?
I think it is. I think my friend actually summed it up best. If you have enough money, you live in Whistler. It's actually perfect.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the best place.
Yeah,
mountain biking in the summer, plenty of snowboarding in the winter. Okay, let's go back to Bree.
I'm here with our women's winner, Jenna. Jenna, has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it will. It's weird when people say, has it sunk in? Because, like, it kind of does, but it never kind of does. And then you're like, did I do that? And then you have to remind yourself you did. But, no, it's feeling good.
Have you worked out what it was that you did that you won up there?
I'm not sure. I just felt so good on my bike. And, like, I think when you want it and you believe you can do it, it helps so much. And I really, like, wanted it and felt like I needed it. And I just kept the flow out there. I didn't push too hard because I didn't want to have a crash. Like, as you saw, it's a hard track. So many people are having crashes. And, yeah, I just found the flow and it paid off.
And you also... Kerr, what was it like to watch him race?
Normally it's quite stressful, but that one, he's like, I just want to have fun. I just want to put like an all right run down. He doesn't really mind how he does. He wants like the juniors and Jake to do well. So yeah, it wasn't that stressful.
We have a big week here at Crankworx Whistler. This is the mecca of mountain biking. What's it like to be here with all these fans?
It's insane. Like me and my brother and like my family and stuff, we growing up we always watched this, and it was always like me and my brother like we want to go to Whistler. And I was here 2 years ago, but I couldn't ride. I had a broken thumb, so to come again this time and like be riding, be lapping A-line, like I've known about A-line for years, and to be like actually here and to like have just won my first ever race in Whistler, it's a sick feeling. It feels kind of surreal.
Fresh off this win, what's next for you?
I'm going to do air downhill for fun this week, maybe slalom, and then we've got like a few weeks of just chilling out before we head into World Champs and the last 2 World Cup rounds of the season.
Thanks, Jenna. Good luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you very much.
Well, great to hear from Jenna there. Yeah, big win for her on her way back from injury. I actually remembered what happened the first time I came here. I came here on holiday for one of my big anniversary birthdays, right, with my best mate. First run down and get to the bottom. I wait for about 10 minutes. I'm like, where is my friend? Where is Bertie Dog? 10 minutes later, he turns up. He going, oh, no, you won't believe what happened. I was like, where have you been? Did you get lost? He went, no, I hit a bear.
No.
A bear ran across in front of him, had him over the bars. He put a hole in his hand so big he had to go and get stitches. We didn't ride bikes again for the week. I wasn't going to ride without my mate, so we only had the bars. We had to sample the nightlife for the entire week. It was terrible.
Yeah,
I came here to ride bikes and all I did was party. I don't feel good about it, even now.
Luckily, I haven't seen too many bears. I've seen some bears climbing trees here, but luckily,
it's all right.
Yeah, that does seem like something that would happen to you, though.
It did, yeah. It's exactly what happened to me. I think it was probably almost perfect. I enjoyed myself. Well, if you just join us here at Crankworx Whistler, we're on a course hold. Kye A'Hern having a big one at the top. We will update you with his condition as soon as we hear anything. He's in the very best medical care. There's 2 riders left to drop, Dakotah Norton and Jakob Jewett.
Yeah,
we're having a long course hold at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, hoping he's all good,
yeah,
and it's just.
And that's all anyone worries about.
Yeah,
is if Kye A'Hern's okay. So we'll keep you updated on that as best we can.
Yeah, thinking of him, and hopefully it's just not super serious.
And actually, during the break for the viewers at home, Danny Hart came and spoke to us, and we asked him what the front wheel was he borrowed and whether it had the right tyre on it. He said, absolutely not. I borrowed a front wheel off someone in the bike park and it had 29 PSI in the front, so he did incredible. Let's go back to Bree.
Thanks, Rob. I'm here with Dane Jewett. Dane, I know you're not happy with your run. Tell me how it went from your perspective.
Yeah, I came in thinking I could get a really good result, and I was just pushing too hard and kept making mistakes after mistakes, and in sections where you can't really pull back, just in the flat sections, and yeah, I was just pushing too hard and getting too loose, so yeah.
How hard is it to carry speed, particularly out of those flat sections?
Yeah, no, it's really important because all the main flat section is after the big drop, double, and then into that bit, and right in there I just clipped a rock and just got swapped and killed all my speed, so yeah, no. You just gotta be super precise, and yeah, I definitely wasn't, and paid the price, but oh well.
Your brother is still yet to drop. He'll be the last one to drop. How do you think he's going to go up there?
I reckon he's got it. Hopefully he can do what he did last year and get all the boys stoked. I'll be in here running around, so I'm a bit upset I couldn't back it up and do it again too, but oh well, got another chance next year.
Did you guys say anything to each other before you came out being brothers, or was it full competition mode?
I just went up to him, gave him a hug and said, let's do this, let's get it. And yeah, he was stoked, so hopefully he got it.
Thanks, Dane. Enjoy the race.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great to hear from him.
Good to have Bree.
Yeah, it's great, eh?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It is one of those things. You can hear the disappointment in his voice because
next year, it's 12 months till we get on the 11.99 again.
Well, I think that epitomizes what the emotions that run through your mind, where you're like, okay, I was the fastest person on the track last year. I just qualified 5th. I'm in touch. Everyone's kind of hyping this thing up. And so you get in the starting gate. I just almost fell over. You get in the starting gate, and you have to push. But because the track is so blown out, and because the mistakes are so punishing, like we've been kind of talking about on those flat sections, it's yeah.
Well, let's go back to Bree, who is with Baz van Steenbergen.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Baz. Baz, why were you not up there today?
I just haven't had a lot of time on the downhill bike this year, and this track is so gnarly. Like, I probably wouldn't have been able to hold on past the first split. So, yeah, these guys are amazing. They're so fast, and I don't think I would have been really competing with them this year.
You've been a 2-time king of Crankworx, and there's a big week ahead. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's always gnarly week here in Whistler, but it's super fun times. It's like so good seeing everybody, and it's like a big reunion for everybody as well.
What are you most excited? It's a big lineup of events.
Ooh, I mean, slalom's always fun. I feel like that's usually my favorite. But yeah, no, there's like tons to look forward to. Whip off being back in the Boneyard, or not back, but yeah, that should be sweet too.
If anyone knows how to win King of Crankworx, it's you. Have you got any tips for the contenders?
I don't know. Tuhoto is looking pretty fast this week, so trying to keep up with him will be key.
Thanks, Baz. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, plenty more action coming up all week long from Whistler here. Thursday it starts up again. We go right through to Saturday, actually, with Red Bull Joyride and a mouth-watering prospect of David Godziak making some history, becoming the one of the only riders ever to take the Triple Crown.
Yeah, that's rare air, actually.
Yeah, I don't know who's done it, right? Emil?
Yeah.
Brett Reeder?
Brett Reeder. Simonuk? No.
Nikolai? I think.
We're out of our depth here.
We are out of our depth here. This is why we don't comment yet. Get Alan Cook on the phone. Get Alan Cook on the phone. We've gone too far into the stats, and we have no idea what we're talking about.
Astray.
I did. That's why I led us down a path with no exit. Sorry. But it's going to be amazing. I mean, I can't even understand what those guys are doing. Okay, well, stay with us then at Crankworx Whistler. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Look up at the sky.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
This is definitely Chris.
Hopefully that parachute works.
A behind the scenes about a mind-blowing project. Featuring Chris Kyle riding his bike in the sky.
It's something that has never, ever been attempted before.
Don't Look Down. Now available on Red Bull TV.
Look at the time from Stevie Smith. He takes his first ever World Cup win.
The making of a legend. Stevie Smith, a.k.a. The Chainsaw.
He was a bit unpredictable, he was creative, he was wild. He did have a great life, full of giggles and laughs and adrenaline.
The untold story of a true champion. Long live Chainsaw. Now available on Red Bull TV.
Really awesomely fun.
Fear. A constant companion that even the mountain bike elite have to deal with.
And your mind just starts kind of playing tricks on you because you can't do anything.
3, 2, 1, delve deep into the psyche of the athletes and get to know one of their biggest driving forces, reverence. A journey into fear. Now available on Red Bull TV. Bigger, badder, bolder.
Door closed, light on.
Drift Masters marks its 10th anniversary and will eclipse everything seen before.
Unbelievable in front of this incredible team.
Get ready for an unforgettable ride. the Drift Masters European Championship 2024, live on Red Bull TV.
Welcome back to Crankworx Whistler and to the RockShox Canadian Open Downhill. Kye A'Hern, we've got some news. We're on a course hold from a crash he's had. He has been evacuated from the mountain and he's on his way to hospital for evaluation. So again, any information we do get by the end of this broadcast, we will certainly pass it on, and we wish him all the best of wishes with that big crash. Well, Brianna is with no less than Aaron Gwyn.
Thanks, Rob. I'm here with an absolute legend of mountain biking, Aaron Gwyn. Aaron, we haven't seen you on a downhill track for a while. What's it like to be back?
It's great to be back at the races. I was fortunate to get a little bit of practice in the first couple of days and just kind of be back on course and hanging with all my friends and riding. It's definitely special. It's been a long time off the bike, so definitely good to be back and cool to be watching the racing. Definitely hope that Kye's doing okay. Good to hear he's walking off the track, and going to be a great race between Dak and Jakob here in a few. So good to be back in the finish line.
It is good to have you back, but obviously you're such a racer. How hard is it for you to be here and not up the top?
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult, right? It's you want to be on the track, but it's fun to be here racing. So let's see what Dak can throw down here.
Thanks, Aaron. Looking forward to seeing you back racing soon.
Thank you very much.
We've got Dakotah Norton on the track here. He's been up there for a long time. I know he's keen to ride this track.
Here we go then, yep. Last two riders dropping in. Dakotah Norton, what can he do here this afternoon?
Looking so smooth so far.
On amazing pace this year with those signature 80 mil bars.
Oh, almost perfect. Cutting that tighter than we've seen anyone.
What's this split going to tell us? He's up by 0.37 then. So amazing run from Dakotah Norton here.
Riding this track exactly like you need to, just patient and not diving into things, taking these insides, cutting off of distance.
And Elliot, this is incredibly impressive after, nearly 45 minutes, an hour of course hold to come out and just turn it on like this.
Gets up there, doesn't get caught in that loose stuff like we've seen some of the other riders.
Fourth in form winning for the World Cup there this year. Second in Val di Sole, winning qualifying and the semi. Yeah, goes high, gets that inside on the exit. Oh, next split coming up, 0.37. All he had to play with is it red or it's green. It's 1.8 into the green now. 1.4 he's taken in just that section, Elliot.
He's keeping the form that we've seen all year, just riding so smooth.
Pushing hard into that left-hander there. Well, this is looking like a run then. Amazing after such a long time sat at the top of the mountain.
Almost no mistakes so far, just so patient, so smooth, braking perfect, not sliding anywhere.
Riding this dust as he needs to. Dakotah Norton.
Getting in, he's got to get on the pedals here.
Squashes over the top of there, hard on the pedals now.
Put the head down.
2 up at the last split on track, that's a massive margin. But there's still plenty of track to go here.
We know Luca had a really nice lower section, so there can be mistakes. Haven't seen anyone take that wide line there.
Talas last night.
Oh, and inside!
Yeah, right on the inside. We haven't seen that on the grass. Incredible. Well, that might be just what he needed to do there. 2 seconds of the last bit. Fast through there. Threading a needle, Elliot. He's pushing on here. It's been a good run. He's capitalising on this last section. Luca Shaw at 3:27. Dakotah Norton sprinting to the line. Dakotah Norton goes fastest. 3:24 to beat now. 2.9 into the green. That was massive. What a run after a course hold from Dak Norton. Incredible. Americans 1 and 2 now here in Canada.
What a run by Dakotah Norton.
Wow. Unbelievable. He wasn't sure, he told us last night, how hard he'd pushed today. He got the effort about right.
He just knew exactly what he needed to do. He knew exactly where he was going to avoid the soft bits. He knew exactly what he was going to do here, shaving off distance where he needed to. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that body English, getting his bike all the way up there into that little rut so that he could get back to the inside. Dakotah Norton is riding amazing this year.
He really is. And I even said it earlier, Ellie, didn't we, that perhaps his results not showing just how well he is riding. He's been close to just winning World Cup after World Cup. He's still searching for that first World Cup win.
That's right.
He might have got a Crankworx win here today, though, with that. 1 man left to drop. Wow.
Well, that will give him some confidence, right?
Yeah.
If he can win this race, then he knows he can do it at a World Cup. I mean, Luca Shaw has been battling with him. He's on pace, but it's this guy.
If you're a dog watching this, you're going to be chewing a slipper. Jakob Jewett, last year's winner on the track then. The last man to drop. Can he do it again here from Squamish? Down the road, 21 years old. Here we go.
Jakob Jewett, all of the pressure.
Look at the crowd cheering him all the way down. It's going to be an unbelievable run. If he can pull this off, it'll be incredible, Elliot.
He will have
so much pressure on his shoulders.
He will have never had so many people screaming his name as this run.
They will not. No, that's right. Second at Rotorua this year.
Inside.
Yeah, nice there as well. Right on the inside, further than anyone.
And he didn't lose. And he didn't lose any speed there. He had traction, jumping way down.
Yep. So carrying a lot of pace out there. Wants to split. It's great. 1.35. A massive top section then for Jewett. Pedaling before he even
as soon
landed.
as he's on it, if he can keep this pace up, if he can keep this intensity through the whole run.
Dakotah Norton under some real pressure.
Another inside.
Yeah. Now heading towards the RockShox Rock section.
Knowing
one of the most important parts of this track, the crowd are lining up.
What's he gonna do?
Goes high. Run around the outside.
Another amazing line. Nobody else was able to stay up that high.
How creative has he been? Has it paid off on the clock? Yes! 1.1 up. Jakob Jewett doing it again.
Fast into
the crowd behind me.
He's driving way faster, way deeper into the corners, leaving his braking so late.
A massive crowd erupted. Excuse me, a massive roar erupting from the crowd behind us as he went through that last split off the Red Bull drop. Jewett charging down this mountain there, looking absolutely faultless.
Aggressive, but smooth. Exactly what you need to do to win a race like this.
And putting it all together, holding a tight line through there, staying inside the dust at the top of that berm. 1.5 now, he's extended again. Pedaling hard, he's burying himself on this long straight.
And this is his signature part of the track where he beat everyone by over 2 seconds.
That's right. Hooks it a little tighter than he did a year ago. Off that big rub, but carrying good pace.
Way outside, cutting back in.
So Dakotah Norton right on the inside, him right on the outside there. Gapping through there, doesn't bother with the little gap on the left. Good pace through there though, Elliot. He didn't do a lot wrong in that last one, it's gonna be close. Dakotah Norton, 3:24. Here comes Jakob Jewett. It's gonna be another win. Look at the time. 0.7 up. Jakob Jewett, back-to-back Canadian Open downhill World wins. That was oh my God. That's insane.
Incredible.
That's insane.
What a run by Jakob Jewett.
Look at that. Look at that. The last man down the mountain has done it. Whoa. Oh my God. That was unbelievable.
That was unbelievable. How do you do that? How do you, the pressure being stood up there for half an hour to back that up, every single person on this mountain wanting you to win.
That was a final run that had me out of breath. Not many comments.
Well, he did so many things that nobody else did, that nobody else could do. The insides, holding these lines, not losing traction, know exactly where to get out of the soft stuff.
A margin of 0.7, unarguable this year, the fastest time of the weekend, a 3:23.7, a new course record.
A new course record.
Fair play to Jakob
Well, this is it. This is like, just look at how perfect he is, carrying so much speed, having to push down, being so comfortable with the bike sliding everywhere.
Yeah.
Jakob Jewett owns the 1199 track at this point.
It's his.
Yeah.
He owns it, yeah. And Stevie, of course, he'll be very happy to see a local man take the win here, that's for sure.
I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is the same type of stuff we saw him do last time. You know, taking these insides but keeping traction. It's just so difficult to do.
Incredible. Okay, well, let's go and hear from our winner. He's with Frew.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with our now two-time winner of the RockShox Canadian Open, Jakob. Jakob, what a run. What does this mean to you to back it up again?
I'm so happy. Honestly, just so relieved.
had a lot of people telling me like they want me to win again, and felt a little bit of pressure for sure. So to deliver, I'm so happy.
You had such an aggressive and smooth run. What was the mindset going into today?
Honestly, the track's so gnarly. I didn't want to push like too hard, so just try to be as smooth as possible. Still, I mean, it's kind of impossible to have a super clean run down there, but I'm super happy with it.
And you've got your little bro here, Dane. How do you think he went today as well? What was it like to race together?
Yeah, it's good. He keeps me on my toes, and he's getting pretty quick. So, yeah, I think we push each other, so it's good.
Dane, you said before you backed Jakob to win. How proud are you of your big brother?
So stoked. It makes up for my day, so I'm so happy for him, and I can't believe he did it twice in a row. So good.
You could hear the absolute scream of the crowd as you were coming down. I'm wondering, could you guys hear it coming down the course?
Yeah, it was, especially through that rock, and it was so loud. I could barely hear, but it was good.
Well done. Enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you.
They're in the right town to enjoy the celebrations. That is for sure. What a run then from Jakob Jewett, back to back Canadian Open downhill wins on the 11.99. As Elliot said, he owns it. He owns it, beating Dakotah Norton by 0.7 of a second. Luca Shaw, a brilliant third for him.
Tuhoto. Look at those times.
Look at Danny Hart in there in fifth with a borrowed front wheel.
Yeah. But that's crazy, like a 23, a 24, and then it's so tight all the way, 4th through 8th. That's incredible. It shows you they were on another level.
They really were on another level. Yeah, it was remarkable. Wow.
Bodhi Kuhn, 9th place.
Well, what a race we've had. We'll be back with a post show. Stay with us. We'll be back after this break.
Prepare your bike. Visualize the track. Keep your blood pumping. Every mistake is a new opportunity. Keep your grip loose for the wildest rides. Bike on Red Bull TV. Riding a bike down the tightest streets and steepest staircases sounds like a plan. The ultimate urban downhill race series goes global this year. 3 continents, but only one direction.
Look at that.
Downwards. Red Bull Cerro Abajo Series 2024. Live on Red Bull TV.
Well, it has been one heck of an afternoon here at the Rock Shocks Canadian Open. Elliot, Jakob Jewett, though, laying one down, I think for the ages with that. 3:23, a new course record, destroying the times of last year. I mean, incredible, wasn't it?
I love this race. This is one of my favorite races now. I mean, there's so much drama. I mean, to see Jakob level up every single run that he does, to do things that nobody else is doing, to beat a Dakotah Norton who is just at the top of his game right now.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see, and it's awesome.
It is. He comes from Squamish, just down the road. He's taken down a guy that is just right there, the highest echelons of World Cup racing.
Sure.
He smoked him today. That is just incredible. Smoked him might be a bit strong. He beat him. Sorry, Dag. No, but it was amazing, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the start of the Crankworx week here in Whistler. There's loads coming up, and it all builds and builds to next Saturday when we go to Red Bull Joyride, which is going to be so exciting.
I can't wait to be on the side cheering on. We've seen so many iconic moments over the year, and I'm sure this year is going to be the same.
It always throws up something absolutely mad. So it is 4 p.m. PDT, 1 a.m. Central European time, and I'm going to leave it there.
You don't know what those other ones mean.
I think I know what New Zealand ST is, but I'm not sure about the other one. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what they are?
Yeah, it's Australian and New Zealand.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, it's great. Crankworx is just getting started.
Absolutely amazing. And of course, there's a few big movie releases. This is the biggest of the year from Red Bull Anytime. Check this out. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. The premiere this week is going to be quite something very special. You might remember earlier in the show, we said that we would be looking at the YouTube comments to win this amazing T-shirt. Full-blown Crankworx factory. Loads of signatures on there. Ronan Dunne, Dakotah Norton, Bailey Goldstone, amongst others. Time now. I hope there's in here. You know when you see those award ceremonies and the name's not there, the big reveal. Lucas Gonzalez Boynton, you are the winner of this T-shirt. There you go, mate, it's yours. All right, it's been an incredible start to the Crankworx Whistler Week. Elliot, thank you. What a day, mate. That was amazing.
Great work.
Thanks for joining us at home. Of course, our thoughts do go out to Kye A'Hern. All the best with his recovery. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the week. We'll see you next time on the 11.99.
Man, burn up the bars and the chippy van, breaking the cars, hit the Lizzie man, spark out a bar, getting lippy fam. Yeah, let's start right, man. Shake cold bars in the city land.